Morning.
Morning.
So, how's the update going?
There hasn't been an update. They did not extend the state. Hello, Seaside Police. Seaside Police, good morning. You have to move your vehicle, please. We have some tow trucks dispatched coming over here, so you are going to have to move per the warning that we gave previously this week, okay?
Right. So, did the state do a stage retraction earlier? Like, you know, worse? Well, I guess we'll just observe for a while. And then hopefully we can ask questions before they leave.
They're just going to go to every car and tell them they have to move and that their tow trucks are coming.
Where do they go?
It's crazy that we said the Seaside doesn't have enough resources to take care of this, but it takes way more money to tow all of these vehicles than it does to leave them here.
Or at least let them be somewhere else.
Police department. Seaside Police. Morning, Mr. Lloyd.
Good morning, sir.
How you doing?
Well, I'm pretty hurt and disappointed in the way the city's handling things. Good luck. Stay safe, man. Good luck.
Shit! Go get him! Fuckers!
So, I mean, what is the alternative of where they're supposed to go? Because honestly, you're not supposed to move anybody unless you have somewhere for them to go.
I don't know what it's supposed to go.
Then this whole operation is illegal and unconstitutional per Martin versus Boise. And of course, you're free to do what you want, right? And this is justice. Is this what you got up to do in the morning, to kick people out? And actually, because you already know what's next. What do you think is next going to happen to these people? Right? Most of these things are going to get towed away or whatever. Now they're going to be really homeless.
Mr. White, I looked you up.
Yes?
Yeah. Pretty good.
What do you think? Yeah? Well, I mean, shouldn't we be trying to perpetuate policy that's not just going to, because what do you think is the next step, man? They're not allowed to park anywhere. What's going to happen while you're trespassing? You know, you're actually creating more of a job for yourselves.
It's not up to me though, sir.
Right, but I mean, it's a perpetual motion that you know, I mean, you should be trying to work yourself out of a job. You know, especially this kind of job, because I mean, in a large respect, this feels like blood money to me, dude.
And like I've said, I may agree, I may not agree, but I have a job to do, and I have to do my job, unfortunately.
Right.
Sir.
Well, and sometimes, you know, not enforcing an unjust law is more a job of actually being a patriot. I mean, you know, the mask and everything. It's not just saluting the flag, dude. It's saluting people.
I'm not saying to stop. I'm not saying to stop.
We need to be having that more conversation as far as this upswing in your chain of command of your order taking, dude, and policies and procedures.
You become mayor, you're gonna have to listen to a lot of people. You know, both
Of
sides,
course.
every side.
Yeah. Well, and it's about keeping everyone safe,
Yeah,
dude. I mean, I'm a teacher, dude. I've got to take care of 50, 60 kids I don't even know.
It's gonna be a tough job. It's gonna be a tough job. Salinas is a tough city.
It absolutely is.
If you win, sir, good luck. Good luck.
Thank you. You know, we got a pretty good shot, actually. It's
Good. So,
But I mean, but see, look at all these people here. We got like 40 people.
I understand, sir.
This is affordable housing, man, and I mean that's where your supervisor and your chain of command going all the way up to the city manager and the city council, because actually the manager makes more decisions than the council. The council can direct policy, but who does the day-to-day operations? Who's really in charge? The city manager. And so these decisions, he says he's a homeless advocate. This ain't even advocating. You know, stuff's got to ring true. If they're going to say something, they got to be about it, man.
You're running for city mayor. That's something you got to go with him. You have to understand
You know,
that.
but this is a national, global issue, and it's open discrimination is what happens.
So you got to go. It's politics. It has nothing to do with law enforcement. We just.
No, it's got everything to do with law enforcement. I mean, come on, dude. There's a lot of growing up to do, and we're too used to doing it this way. You guys are poor, so you don't deserve anything.
Rise above anything, Chicago.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We should be taking care of people, not just driving them away. That's cruel. It's barbaric, actually. I mean, this is a white man tactic. Just doing my job, my job. Don't forget my job. I'm really nice to you. Really nice. Like a cat with claws. So was shelter in place mentioned at all yesterday?
Yes.
And everything's still in compliance, even though the stage is more.
The manager, the mayor. Did you guys go talk to them?
I
I was hoping that something would change, but as of today, we've given ample notice to move out of here. The people here, the people were given several days notice, a couple weeks notice, and we came here yesterday. I was hoping we would move. I was hoping something would change, but nothing has changed.
Well, move from here, but go where?
I understand.
And I mean,
there are a few places that you can park,
but not in the city of Seaside.
you know. I guess I told you yesterday. There's the tow truck. Like I told you yesterday, I've worked here for 20 years. People have to stay sometimes different locations. We go out looking for people that are breaking the law.
They have to stay because people like you kick them out. It's not a law of nature.
Like I'll get to you in a second. Like I was saying, we're out there. Like people are doing drugs. People are causing crime, or those are the ones we're after.
How many positions?
In the 20 years that I've been here, we come across people living in their vehicles all the time. We don't target them. I don't go out looking for them. Okay, it's just this specific area. It was allotted by the city for a variety of reasons. They decided to clear. That it needs to be cleared out yesterday, as of yesterday. So that's why we're here.
Well, but you're going to get future complaints. Is really the concern, right? Oh, I see this vehicle. It shouldn't be here. And like Googie Grill. I mean, it's going to be Googie Grill all over the place. And it's open discrimination is what I'm scared of. And yeah, he is causing an issue.
Where you're coming from.
I don't think you do.
Seaside.
Yeah, we were working with you, but we just went, on the other hand, we did come by yesterday too. And we did come by yesterday though too, but
Oh, but yeah, it was a big unknown though. We didn't know the days.
yeah, you're right. I can see why you would be.
That's what I was saying last night. I didn't, you know, at least we had a date yesterday. And last night I was saying I don't like not knowing stuff.
Yeah.
But you know, it's what it is. It's not your fault. Not your fault.
We spoke yesterday. I was just wondering, were you able to find an alternative for these people?
I was hoping that you get any answers from the city or.
I spoke to one.
As
of
of
the
now, nothing's changed. We are just following up on yesterday's visit. Unfortunately.
But I realized that these children as well, they were all state parks that were out of the county as well. And I mean, well, you said the council is the ones that put the orders on enforcing these, correct?
City manager.
Are you just gonna continue to ignore me? I know you're working, but
I'm not ignoring you. I spoke with you at length yesterday, and I'd really like to talk to you, but I can't dedicate myself to talking to you right now.
Actually, you never actually really gave answers. You just kept repeating yourself, and I understand it's a difficult job, and so I understand why it's
I can't really talk to you at this specific moment. Like this exact moment right now, I just can't sit here and talk to you. But I'll be happy to talk. I'll be happy to talk to you in a few minutes. Okay?
You can evict everyone else when we don't have many places to go. And you don't even know alternatives for them to go anywhere. What do you think that they're gonna know? Like, are you serious? You guys have a lot more resources than they do, and you could use that resource instead of helping them to.
Maybe this blonde lady will want to talk to you too.
I'm not trying to make it difficult for you. I'm just trying to just question yourself and question the ethics of what you're doing and maybe what just.
Okay, I'll answer that.
This is scary.
This is a difficult situation. Okay, for everybody. More difficult for them than anybody else.
Absolutely.
You're the one making it difficult.
Excuse
It's not
me.
just
You
naturally
seem to have a habit of just like if you were to talk to me when not in the middle of when somebody else is talking to me, I would gladly talk to you. But you keep doing that. So it's a difficult situation. More difficult for them than anybody else. Okay. Do I believe that we're doing the right thing? We've given a bunch of notice. The voters, the council, they've. You know, unfortunately, we're not
and the city manager.
I think there are.
Right, I do. Yeah, the city manager is kind of part of the problem because, I mean, with one mouth he says he's advocating for the homeless, and with the other, you're kicking them all out. Now, where are these people supposed to go?
But this was temporary. So we passed out flyers yesterday of the state parks that allow motorhomes in California. I understand.
What's the closest location?
I understand, but you knew this was temporary when it started.
During shelter in place. Is shelter in place been lifted?
Yes.
Shelter in place has just been reinstated as of
no,
yesterday.
just businesses.
No,
Just
the
businesses.
virus is being transmitted.
We understand.
Right?
So
have a
if-
place
I
right
can't
there.
make that decision
Okay. Then why are you trying to?
because we're
Right.
here at our direction.
Who directed you?
Right.
The city manager
There's one person
and the city council. And we are going to have to clear this out.
Why are we going to have to? Why are we going to have to?
I'm sorry, can I
Well,
ask
instead of
Deputy Chief Laws from the police department.
so can you point out some health safety violations right now?
If anything, I'm sure they're doing more for the community than anyone else, considering that they're cleaning up a lot of this
Well,
area.
and just walking away, I thought you wanted to have a conversation. What happened?
The officer told me I could come to you to ask questions, and you will answer them for me. So, I mean, I'm sorry if I keep following up. I can't say that you're going to answer.
Absolutely, but okay, I understand, and we're all on board, and we're all trying to look for solutions. But you are going to have to go to council.
Okay, if you're
Well,
trying to look for
so-
solutions, why not let them stay until you find those
I
solutions?
cannot make that decision.
You can't make those decisions, but you're here to answer all of the questions.
I work for the city.
Okay, you
Right.
work for
I
the
work at
city,
the
then what?
direction.
Okay, then I'm asking what you're doing here. What is your purpose here?
City again? Tell me again who are parts of this city?
I understand. I know.
No, well, so
The city of Seaside, a resident? Yeah, he is. A lot of these motorhomes aren't registered to
Yes,
Seaside.
but they come here because they have
Okay.
nowhere else to go. Okay, Chinatown.
Blood.
Well,
So each city that they're
Uh,
pushed to, they have
Blood.
to get registered.
gosh.
Balaz. Can I talk to you for a second?
If you guys work for the city, why can't we ask questions to you and just saying we just work for them, we just work for them? I mean,
Right.
shouldn't you know some information other than
I
you're
don't know.
told what to do and
Right.
that's what you're gonna do?
No, well,
Like,
and
I
if you're
thought-
going to enforce a law, you should definitely know about it. You know, I mean, so the natural consequence is going to be towing people, isn't it?
The natural consequence to what?
To people not being here, they're not allowed anywhere else.
It may have to be. Yeah.
It may have to be.
Don't want to do that. I mean, we've come here.
Well, but
We came here yesterday, and
how are we not throwing the baby out with the bathwater?
And I mean, like, you gave these people notices for weeks,
That's
and
true.
considering that they couldn't move within those weeks, don't you think that it's not because they wanted to stay here?
yeah, several people,
It's 'cause they-
even though people were told yesterday, several people even now. There's one gentleman with a flat tire. There's people. One gentleman told me it's going to take me about an hour
Yeah.
to get out of here.
No, it could be
That's
all day.
fine. I'm not gonna.
No, I understand
Yes,
that, but
Right? And it doesn't matter. The strong arm of the law.
Say what you want as long as you got a taser, a gun, and a fucking OC spray.
Well, they get told what to do, they get paid to do it, and they do it with glee and gusto.
Over here from freaking Maryland. Emphasis on the gusto, yeah?
There can be. It can be. I mean, Enrique's been pretty good, you know. But yet, still, the ultimate action is still happening. And even though he agrees and understands, it's still his job. And then you wonder about why they say defund the police.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what their fucking opinions are on it. You should not have to.
No, well, it's an impossible solution. I mean, actually, you're creating you're putting people in worse harm's way. And this lady don't even want to talk to me. Deputy chief, what? Oh, come on now. I should have brought someone who actually wanted to talk.
I don't understand why everyone has to move just to have a couple things clean. That was the issue.
No, it's
How many complaints
that they,
were there about this?
the city wants. So,
Yeah, I know. But do you see why that's unjust?
I mean, we could find a better solution. That would be better for me. You know, better for everyone who. I mean, because look, do you think it's better to live in an RV or a tent, even though neither is okay?
Do I think what?
Would it be better to have an RV or better to live in a tent? For you, if you had a choice.
An RV, of course.
Right. It's the structure and safer, and you know, it's got amenities. And so, how come?
There's a lot of places here in Seaside, like I said before, where people are able to park. People that are having a hard time. Technically they're breaking the law, but you know they don't cause any problems. They'll move. You know they move to follow the ordinance of not being there for more than 72 hours. You know it's an issue we've dealt with for a long time. It's just this particular place. We were given notice. There have been some health concerns here, but it's been pretty clean.
Thank you.
But they were given notice to move, and unfortunately we're here. You know?
Right. Well, do you think?
Unfortunate, like you are choosing to be here and ruin people's lives.
Well,
This isn't just an arbitrary decision. This is a very hard.
If we had to tow somebody's car, then it would be a significant impact on them.
Yeah.
You know, we came yesterday. But didn't even call the story. We were directed to clear the area yesterday. There was no tow trucks that we brought.
When you're here today,
We're here today.
to tow people's vehicles.
And unless we're told otherwise, I mean, we're going to continue.
And you can't think beyond
trying
what
to
you're
work
told.
with-
You can't think beyond what you're told. You have a really strong union, probably one of the strongest unions in the area. You can't organize against your supervisors and say, this is immoral, we don't want to do this. You keep telling us to go to the city council. You have more power.
I don't necessarily. I don't want anybody's vehicle to get towed. I don't want
tow truck is here.
I don't necessarily think that
They're
We're asking
giving
people to-
notice now that everyone needs to move, or the tow truck will come.
Yes, but I don't necessarily think it's immoral for people for us to tell people, okay, you have to move from this specific place. Go stay over there at that location, and just or whatever I can do personally to help you guys find a place.
if they
But for
can't
us
move their vehicle,
to
they
but
can't
for
move
us
their
to move
vehicle.
this specific cap that was established by the city to help people during this time, and I understand that the time is not over, that the shelter in place is still in effect. I understand that. What you're saying about that.
So in the middle of an unprecedented global pandemic, you're just going to kick people out of the place where they've been living, the place where the city originally said they should.
And where
It's an arbitrary
At this point, we've been directed to clear this area.
Okay.
If you had a conversation other than you need to leave with these people, have you had any other conversation other than that? You had. Have you spoken to that woman who I just asked, do you know where you would go within an hour, within a day? She said no. She started tearing up, and the very fact that made me cry myself because I was looking at her. I couldn't do anything for her except for stand and talk to an officer who's not willing to help either. And then you keep telling me, go to the city, go to the council, go to the city. Aren't you part of the city as well? And I'm going to you and I'm asking you, please help us help them by not enforcing this when I know you, in your heart, you don't want to be doing this because the way that you answer it, it's a very difficult question
other end.
to answer. Exactly, and I can tell that you don't want to be doing it.
Right on this side. Let's start on the other side. Oh, yeah.
You talk real, like, just blasé about all this shit. Huh.
She's the deputy chief.
Yeah, she comes here saying she can't
Come.
answer any of our
They
questions.
still have to go and make contact with the other side as well.
At least, Officer Hernandez, I do see some compassion in you, not in all of this. But
Well,
thank you
this
for
guy?
answering.
He's a reasonable person.
This guy?
What's that?
Oh, you want to know who owns this truck?
Oh, no, he told me.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I understand you're helping them too, so thank you.
Yeah, you bet. I need some coffee though. Damn. Should at least brought coffee. That would have been nice.
It's a good send off.
A lot of these campgrounds, you have to pay.
So,
So, are you gonna
No, I
be
understand. I'm going to when you said that. That's good. I'm going to help as long as he has to get all that stuff picked up. And now I am towing him with a tow strap. Okay, that's why I got him down here from.
By noon?
Oh, yeah.
By noon?
Oh yeah, doesn't matter how I do it, right?
Whatever's left
Okay.
here will-
So just letting, I'll find out if that's legal or not. Tow with a tow strap. Anybody call? Okay, yeah, I'll pop. I hear you.
I'm sure she has a nice house too. She's just not worried about any of these people.
by noon. By noon.
By noon, we're gonna talk. Anyway,
By nooner.
so do you also want to see that I put replace all these people?
What, you're gonna do 1201, you're gonna tell them?
Once you're back there.
Oh, and the officer, you said to tow their truck or to tow something would ruin their lives. And yet she's over here and she doesn't give a shit.
No, she don't give a fuck, bro.
She's like, yeah, let's ruin
No, she don't
people's
give a
lives.
fuck,
Who gives a
By
fuck,
noon,
right?
by noon.
Yeah, by 1201, 1 minute later, we're gonna tow it. We're gonna tow all their shit, right?
You guys, it has come to an end. It's not easy. It's hard to do. It's a fact. This is not a home. This is a place where we got gifted to park here. That's it. We have to accept it.
Thankful.
Well,
that's good.
Here is gonna have to go
No, well, he has an alternate location,
I'm one
which
of
is
them.
good.
I know. I'm one of them.
All right, you planned. You
No, I
planned.
didn't plan. I'm
No, I mean like you have an alternate location to go, right?
Well, I'm looking to say that.
Right. So, I mean,
If you gonna roll over, dog, roll over, nigga. You know what I mean?
Everybody here can move.
You guys literally
I hope
said
this
there's
is
a problem
unbelievable,
with
man. Nah, this is-
Seaside, and then
this
to
ain't right,
tow
man.
their
This ain't
stuff, to tow their things,
gonna go
that
work the
means
other
they
side.
are gonna be
Yeah,
homeless.
yeah. Make a lot of people more homeless. Then you have more homeless to scurry away.
Well, if we have to tow people, yeah, they would be homeless. But we're not trying to make anybody homeless. We're just trying to say, if there's no place to go, you know.
Well, from this location though, you know, you can save
this
yourself from this situation, but where they go to is now someone else's problem. Hopefully, right? A different jurisdiction's problem. And if they're not, then they will become yours. But either way, they're going to get contacted. They're going to get run. They're going to get scrutinized. They're going to get overly discriminated against, and hopefully popped.
You may have had some bad experiences with some others. I don't know exactly where you're from, sir. No offense.
Yeah.
But we don't do that here. We have a good relationship with our community. We don't.
This is a good relationship with the community.
Yeah. This is uncomfortable, terrible situation. I mean, the city. I understand we established this. Is this the right resolution? No, it's not. I was hoping that
But
something
is the right
would
solution
change.
kicking them out, or is the right solution waiting until another
The thing
option.
is, like, we don't,
I'm
until
not in
Thursday,
the-
but you,
It
okay,
sounds like a cop out, but I'm not in a position to answer that. I'm not.
on Thursday there's going to be a meeting and there's going to be a lot more availability to talk to all the city council members and the mayor and everything, but today's Tuesday and we need 2 days to get to that meeting. You know,
Well,
we can't have
and I mean, you know, we're so in the motion of doing this right now. I see the follow through, but I would hope that maybe you can make a recommendation that this isn't necessarily a positive way to go about doing business. You know, I would hope you take that back. We gotta check the other side because they're advising.
Okay, we have time. You got time? You have time?
So, I'm all ready to go. But I would like to wait till noon.
Yeah. You have to do it.
So it sounds like
He's up on the other end. Yeah, they've been having mechanical issues. They had a mechanic here yesterday working on it.
Just wanted to really put They said that particular unit is really big because of how much you like it.
thank you very much.
You know, it's kind of funny though, man.
Yeah, man.
Okay. I did afternoon, man, but it says that we could be here for 6 o'clock. Actually, it said.
No. We're not going by the sign. We're going by the advisement.
So that's it, man. Right? I'm talking to allow me backwards with John Wizard in there, man, and all of a sudden you guys want to just tell
John
us?
Wizard?
Yeah.
I'm the one who established this.
No, what's your name?
My name's Anton Hunter.
Oh, I've seen all your emails that went back and forth. I'm Deputy Chief of Law, so I've been reading the emails that go back and forth between you and the city manager.
That's fine.
So, okay. So everyone knows and they've all cooperated. They all said they're going to be gone by noon, so we're good. I understand you need to go to a council meeting and talk to
I've been going to council meetings.
But you do understand that we're not making this decision. Yeah.
I understand that Craig established this because of COVID and COVID's not
What's your
over.
back, Anton?
That's what I understand. I understand.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you, thank you.
Okay.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Other than today, have you been down here? Anton has been dealing with the city manager. Yesterday was the day of the Okay,
Watch
so
out,
if you've
Anton.
been dealing with it for quite some time, that obviously means, one, you guys haven't come up with a solution.
Yeah,
No, we haven't. I have. Okay, so you're expecting all of these people who have even less than what you have to go and find a solution themselves. Yes, ma'am. Oh, okay.
Do you understand how dense you sound?
Yeah,
I don't
do you
understand.
Do you understand?
Do you understand
Oh.
that I'm a deputy chief at the police department and I don't make decisions for the council? Do you understand that? I don't make decisions
But
for the
you
city or the
can't-
council.
you-
It is
you
not
can't-
one person here that
What's
makes
the
decisions
point?
for the
What's
city.
the point of getting
Well, you
that high?
understand the ramifications of what's about to happen.
That is a respected position. What is the point if you can't even do anything other than
Okay, all right. You guys.
It's okay. I'm gonna go. I have work to do, you guys. I can't solve your problem. I wish I could.
Okay,
We all
well, you
do.
just-
No, well, that's the problem, passing it off to somebody else.
I know you don't think we can.
That's not, no, it's not,
But
it's
this
not,
is
I'm not saying that.
unreasonable.
Well-
It's unreasonable.
What you're
You
asking of
just-
me, one person, is unreasonable.
One person. I'm also one person, and I'm
Take it
trying
to
to.
your
So wait,
If you talk to
wait.
Craig, I just don't understand how come Craig didn't come down here with us, man. No one ever gonna
Wait.
be down
You
here.
have to ask Craig, not me.
I've been
Right.
asking Craig to set it.
Okay, but are you upset at me for that?
Yeah,
Right.
you're the one out here harassing me.
So-
You're the one out here
No, wait. Okay, I'm talking to Anton. Anton,
I mean, ma'am, I'm just saying.
I've read your emails. And
If you read my emails, then you've been seeing how hard I've been trying to fight for these people,
You said
man.
you'd have them out by the 13th and it wouldn't be a problem. I read it in the email, Anton. I
I asked for a place to go. We need to allocate these people somewhere else. At least if you're gonna kick people out, give them somewhere else to go. Not a piece of paper that weighs nothing.
There's a proper order of
Right.
action.
And Martin versus Boise actually mandates you should have another place for
You
them.
guys keep
Oh,
talking
so
about
you could delegate who you get to
anti-stuff
talk to, but we have to hold our tongue when we talk to you guys.
But I know that I can't solve your problem here today.
But you are the problem.
The one
Well-
that you can solve today
We can
is
all
by
maybe
saying,
solve
you
it.
know what, we're
Why
not
don't we
going to
all
tell you,
go together
I'm going to
to
work
partner
today
and-
to go and help.
Look, the obvious reason why, again, I'll reiterate that, again, the reason why we established this like in the first place because of the COVID pandemic.
I
To
know.
give people to hunker down so we can protect them.
And then the council voted last week and they didn't vote to let
They
you guys
didn't
stay.
vote for the.
No, this
they
wasn't
voted
on
for
the agenda,
1 hour
but it's
parking. That's it.
administrative.
They never voted if they were gonna all unanimously decide if they were gonna fit Robert's fight.
Right, but nobody really advocated for us. You're right. Only Jason Campbell was the only one who cared about people. Everyone else, you wonder why people talk about defund the police and refund the community. This is it. I mean, look at how many officers it takes, and how much the city's going to pay for tow fees. All this industry.
Yes, sir, we understand your concerns. And what I told this nice lady over here is this is not the platform to be having this conversation because we're not in charge. This is direction that came down from the city council and the mayor. We feel your frustration. Stop. Let me talk. We're human beings just like you guys. We understand that this is not a solution to help anyone here. We're just as frustrated as you that we have to do it. This is not a question about defunding the police. If you have a problem with this, let me finish and then you can say your piece. If you have a problem with this, go to the people in charge that are telling us to do it. It's not us.
Hey, it's not only me, and because if you feel that way, you should be talking to your superiors as well. You should be like, no, that's not appropriate answer.
Move to the side, please.
Oh, so you guys can come here.
So, I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed that this is the course of solution. This is old school stuff, man. There's too many people here. What's going to happen? So what do you think is going to happen when they leave here? Do you think they're going to be welcome anywhere? Officer Rice?
Go to the mayor's office. Talk to the mayor.
Do you think where they end up going?
Why don't you talk to your boss and tell them that you don't want to be doing it?
Where they end up going? Are they going to be welcome where they're at?
Her head. This is coming from the city manager. You probably don't
Then she
understand
should
how
be doing that.
politics work.
Oh, yeah.
But the city manager
yeah.
runs the city, and they give discretion to all
organize
the
with
other
your
departments.
coworkers.
Can you answer
Organize with your
fire
coworkers and tell them
So-
this is not right.
Can you answer my question? Where do you think are they going to be welcome anywhere, sir? Officer Rice.
Go talk
When you
to
have
the
the power.
Officer Rice, don't run away, dude. What's going to happen next? Okay, they're going to have to move somewhere, right? Are they going to be welcome there? Are they going to get complaints called about them? Hold on.
And I understand your concern. It's above my pay grade, and it's not a police issue. This is a thing that's going on all across America right now. Homeless.
Right, especially with all the evictions
And
just raiding 30
I
million.
understand. Maybe some other countries do it better than we do. I don't have the answers. I'm just a human being, and this is my job. When I'm off duty, I'm just a person, just like you guys.
But when you're on duty, your job is harassing people.
No, I'm not harassing.
Hold on.
You're all armed with
I'm
lethal
just
Hey,
as
you're doing the same. Hold on.
I'm just as frustrated at you guys about the issue. I don't have all.
Then you need to
I
be
don't have
voicing
all-
that in your
We do.
briefing.
That's my
That
sergeant.
briefing
We do.
morning, be like,
You were in our
are you
briefing this
sure,
morning.
dude?
You were in our briefing this morning when we talked about what? You were in our briefing this morning when we talked about.
with more officers.
Please.
Can I share my speech?
Yeji, I actually want to hear what happened.
You were not in our briefing this morning when we shared our concerns saying, why can't we offer more programs for them?
Okay.
What's open? What's closed? How can we brainstorm? If we move them from here, where are they going to go? Is somebody else going to kick them out? We feel your frustration. We're talking, but the problem is he has to go to her. She has to go to her boss, and it goes all the way up to the city manager who makes a decision.
If their vehicle is towed,
Okay,
and what are the
so-
chances of getting out? Probably zero.
Right.
They lose all their property. What are they going to do? It's their
Absolutely.
lives.
We don't want to make people homeless and be on the street. At
well,
least
you
they have
are.
shelter.
But
stop.
you're
No, that's
being
rhetoric, don't.
you're
We came
actually
here yesterday.
carrying out the decisions
We
of
came here
crazy.
yesterday under the direction to clear the park. Okay, we
That's
did not
correct.
call one tow truck. We said
Right.
no. We're
We
not going to call
appreciate
anybody
that.
out there.
Right.
Okay.
For today,
we
yes.
told everybody, please,
Not today.
you guys need to leave. We come back today with a tow truck. The tow truck left. we're asking people to
Right,
leave.
but it's coming at noon, yeah.
As long as we're giving direction, we're going to continue to come back.
Right. No, I understand
This
that
area
there's
is
no,
the
but
beach.
the
I'm trying
ramifications
to give
is
you
what
guys
I'm
real
getting at.
advice that's above our pay grade, because right now we can bicker all day long.
No, and I'm not
It won't
interested in
change
bickering.
This isn't
anything.
bickering. First
But
of
what
all,
I'm trying to
I'm
say is
trying
it won't
to
change
open.
anything.
I'm trying to
If you
get
want
used to-
change, go to the city manager.
It also has to come within you as well, talking to your,
Okay,
because you have discretion. You have discretion over the law. You have
just
very
explained
limited
how
discretion, but you do have
difficult-
discretion.
You just explained how
And you have
difficult it
judgment.
was
You have
for
critical
to
thinking
get
skills.
more-
When we get directive from our chain
okay.
of command,
So
we have
you
to
can
follow
talk
it.
over
I understand
me, but
that.
I'm not
I
allowed
understand
to
that,
talk
but
over
you also
right?
have to
And if it's a
question
lawful
that at the
order
same
that's a
time.
violation of an ordinance,
Because
we have to.
I'm a teacher, dude, and I
Like you
can't
said, in the
really.
middle of the road is not the platform to question it.
Okay,
Do
okay.
you know,
Alright, why don't we
we're
all go
talking
talk
about
to
3
Craig
blocks
Ryan
away.
right now?
And I'm asking
Yeah.
you. I'm asking
Yeah.
you a
I'll go
question.
talk to the city
I'm
hall.
asking.
Let's go out of the
Okay,
road.
first of all,
Right.
why do you
No,
get to
it's-
interrupt me? I am trying to talk to you. You told him to stop multiple times when he was
Are we
talking.
talking or are you talking about him?
I'm talking to you.
About
You-
what?
Oh my gosh! If you just
I don't want to be
let
yelled at.
me
I don't-
fucking finish
If
for
you're
a
yelling at me, I'm
second.
gonna leave.
Oh my god! You literally yelled at me. Stop! Stop! You told me.
Well, I should not help him too
And
much.
yet I'm trying to talk to you. You don't even want to sit and listen.
Dang it.
I'm trying to talk to you. Interrupt.
No, I'm not trying to get confrontation. I'm trying to change minds, trying to change hearts. Because seriously, there's no stopping this right now, and there's no point in arguing about it. But where are they going to go, and what's going to happen? We already know, dude. They're going to get rolled up at the next spot.
But you know what? This makes it more difficult for them, and that's still going to slow it down. I still think it's worth it.
Okay, I'm not.
I hope so.
I don't. Yeah, why does it matter if I'm just
We're talking about
I try to see some more often than Marina, so it really doesn't
See, and even the supervisor knows hands down, dude. There ain't no way, dude. You know, he's like, how are you not throwing the baby out with the bathwater? He's like, you know, and that is the ultimate question. You need to be hitting up that boss and that boss and that boss and say, no, I ain't doing unjust laws. But yet, how do you do that?
All leads back to Craig Ryan. That is one person.
Exactly. You got it.
It's like that's the person making the decision, but they're the ones enforcing it.
Right,
No,
right.
I'm not saying that
they're putting their hand on it, you know, and
But at the
that's,
end of the day, if we don't get Craig Marion to change his word, they're not going to change their word. either.
no, yeah, no, they have direction, and they, you know, who's not going to follow their boss?
Some people don't. People go on strike. People,
Exactly,
people
I know. I'm honestly.
Oh no, I know.
Right, but they're not ready for it. They, you know,
But you know what?
their heart is
Here's the thing. So
preoccupied.
like of course, yes, we need to change. We need to get to but this kind of thing.
every single person here to let them know that there's resources that you guys found.
I'd be happy to do that. We have done that. With the last 2 visits here, we spent, you know, and I understand why you're here. We spent talking to you. You know, we have. That's a big part of what we do. Is work with other
One of the biggest
resources.
issues is how conservative is Seaside.
Don't protect us.
Horribly, look at them. Look at them go.
I mean, every
So many partners. All the time.
Well, taxes, you know, I mean, the business owners make all the tax money, so they're the ones who matter in you know, politics world. They're stakeholders. Look at the NBC squeeze. Oh, well,
And that's why none of the city council cares about people, because they're like, oh, they're not even from here. They're like, this is it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, we ran all their plays.
Like my deputy chief says, this is my deputy chief says.
All right, we need to clear, make a hole.
People here,
Dang, they're here to clear out quick. I guess some people have already volunteered. Go ahead and take this. Very disappointed. Very disappointed.
So I'm gonna go down to City Hall.
I'll go with you.
You know what I mean? Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go down to City Hall. If you guys want to meet me over there, you guys are more than welcome. But I'm gonna email him. Say, hey, look, man, we're outside your front door right now. You wanna have a meeting? Have a meeting with us. You know what I
Okay.
mean about the situation?
Yeah.
And
Well, TikTok, noon time.
Right. Exactly.
All right.
Yosemite. So
Right.
There's definitely more help that we can give, and we'll work on that. Okay.
Well,
I know that wasn't you.
it should be. We can't do anything until that work is done. That's what it needs to
How
be.
the deputy chief responded to me, I was trying to talk. She gave me the cold shoulder multiple times before I felt a little aggravated. On top of the officer, I'm sorry, Rye was it?
Rice?
He was very rude. I was not trying to be rude. He multiple times
He's
he
a young buck.
demanded for my friend over there to stop talking. But when he wanted to talk and express whatever he wanted to, it was free.
Well,
See, so that I know you guys can. You know you have power. You obviously know you have power over us. So how are you gonna say we're the ones to go and fight for this?
Actually, I personally don't feel like I have power over anybody. Officer Rice, I'm not gonna be able to.
Don't have to.
You know, I'm not.
Are you
I
not some
can't.
form of supervisor to him?
Yeah, I can't speak for him, but if you're looking from our perspective, when everybody is talking and yelling at the same time, it's
Exactly.
from your perspective. But if you're looking from my perspective, you're in front of a crowd like that and everybody's talking. You know, you're gonna have to tell some people.
Oh, you're right.
Like
You're
that
right.
one
But
gentleman.
if he could not.
That one gentleman, I don't know where he is, but he never asked me a question directly. He would wait till I'm talking to somebody and then interrupt the whole conversation. It's just looking at it from our perspective.
I understand, but okay.
So that's why he was telling people
he's a human as well, but as an officer, if you're going to get that agitated so soon by people yelling at you, you should not be holding a gun, you should not be holding a badge, you should not be an officer. So I hope you talk to him and let him know that that was not okay. And the fact that you're supposed to be here, aren't you supposed to be, you're supposed to be calming it. Instead, why is it?
We're trying to be calm. We're not trying to.
I understand. No, I never said you weren't
There's
calm.
people here that were very agitated yesterday.
It's true.
Yes, you're right, but it's a hard, difficult topic, first of all, and it's one
it's
filled
people's
with a lot
lives.
of passion. Because it is literally people's lives.
We have the
at
luxury
stake.
of calling it a topic. They're actually living it.
Exactly.
There you go.
You're right. You're exactly right.
Okay, look, I can't.
You're telling me things that I agree with you on, and I respect.
I hope you go down there.
I hope.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna try. We're gonna go talk to Craig right now. Thank you.
Also do something with your power.
I'm trying.
I know you have power.
I'm trying.
Okay, and I appreciate that.
Take care.
Thank you. You too.
He said he'd be back, right?
But
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you guys doing?
Well, we got people protesting down there, and
basically, we need to get the
I like
city
you.
manager
I like you, by the way.
to listen to what we're saying.
All right, go
Because
ahead.
he's the one who has ultimately put the orders to have the tow trucks move in. So that's why we're here to speak to the city manager.
So why are they making you move during COVID-19?
Thank you.
Exactly. No, so what happened was that, and so I was listening to what you were saying about the hotel vouchers. So it's a little different issue because this is the community that they have RVs. So it's like
They have
RVs.
Oh, down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roberts Lake.
Yeah.
It's COVID-19. Why can't they just let you stay for a
Right.
little
They
while?
said us. That's the thing. It's too many.
They're worried about sanitizing, which is paying themselves for sanitizing, paying the police, paying the tow company for dismantling whatever has to be towed. They created themselves a job, and where are they going to go? They can't park in Seaside. Seaside's got an RV ban.
Monterey
You
does
know what,
too.
this is the thing. You guys need to get the KSPW out here, NKION, and tell them that you have a crisis going on. We literally have right now a situation where COVID-19 is on the rise. And where the hell is city government? I mean, even if they've told you over and over, they have nowhere else to go. Where are they supposed to go?
Exactly, right? Everywhere.
The residents in the RVs, if they had anywhere to go within a day or two, they said they don't even know. So how are these people going to go? Hi.
That is really wrong.
And I looked up all these California state parks
Yeah.
that they gave the list out to yesterday. They're all
Well, I guess we
closed
better
already.
mob.
You are a respected position, and you have all the resources you could possibly imagine
So this is
compared to them.
Yes, I want to understand, and I will tell you, this is probably the most compassionate city on this peninsula.
Oh, yes.
I will tell you, there's no other city that has
Okay.
done what Seaside has done to try to help those in under and disadvantaged positions. So the city manager, months ago, said, we are willing to allow you to park your vehicles here for an extended period of time.
And before the COVID cases.
Let him please let him say his whole entire piece.
I will. I just wanted to add in that a little bit. Don't worry.
And this city has said, not only are we willing to allow people to park overnight, one day a week, which nobody else is doing, but we will try to find a location in Seaside where people can park. So the challenge is when people want to come use Roberts Lake or somewhere else and there is no parking available for anybody to come and use those parks because there are vehicles parked. And so we really understand that people are in a very challenging situation. They don't have any place to go. They have a number of challenges that they're dealing with. But Seaside shouldn't be the only city taking a leadership position.
Okay, but they're being they're being pushed into the Seaside, and it doesn't matter if it's Salinas, if it's Monterey, if it's Marina. These are human people's lives. It doesn't matter where they're from. Let me tell you. I'm from Marina.
And I agree with you. It doesn't matter where they're from. But the fact is, Seaside can't accommodate everybody.
Okay, you're right.
This is a question that I gave Jason Campbell. Okay. This is a good question, and I hope you're ready for this.
Yes.
How long do you think that a resident actually have to be here before you can consider them a part of the Seaside community?
Registered voter. How long does it take for a registered voter to become a resident?
You know what I mean? I'm from here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So the only reason why I read upon this is because I thought that there was a plan set in place for my people to be relocated to. There's not. You're basically scattered to the wind, and it almost seems the president's almost the senator is. We're going to kind of sweep them underneath the rug and hopefully they go away.
No, and I will tell you.
But that's what I'm getting from.
And I understand. And I will tell you from a personal standpoint, I understand how compassionate this city is. And so please hear me out.
In comparison.
Do you see any other city doing what Seaside is trying to do to accommodate people in need? Do you see any other city doing that?
Yes.
Monterey.
Salinas.
So what is Monterey doing?
Monterey actually came to my encampment. Monterey actually came within my encampment, okay, and actually took the individuals that were in tents and put them in the hotels and got them rehab.
Yes.
Okay? I did the numbers. Okay. Seaside is really, they put, and even Campbell, he agreed with this one. I didn't even, dude, you guys put a little drop in the bucket when it just even comes to the shelter that's being put in place. Right. The $2,186,680 something that actually got allocated to the shelter didn't come from Seaside. Right. Okay?
It came from the county. Right.
No, the majority of the money actually came directly from the Coalition of Homeless Services. I seen their numbers. Okay. What have Seaside? Because I seen the last year's budget. Homeless was almost never even mentioned. No money being allocated to them. So when you say Seaside is doing something for the city, it's kind of empty, bro.
Yeah. This year, what we did, money was reallocated from different funding mechanisms in the city to hire people to respond to homelessness and also to mental health.
To respond to homelessness, this is the response to it.
What I'm telling you is we don't have a person that has the expertise to tell people, okay, what is the challenge that you're facing? We have a homeless liaison that's a police officer, but we need a civilian who gets it. Okay, so you can apply. Let me finish. So we're trying to find someone that can ride out with the police officer and say, okay, here's someone who is homeless, who requires resources. Here are resources we can connect you to. That's what we're trying to do. The Monterey and others.
This isn't a good start, though, brother. You understand what I'm saying?
That's
not a good start. If you guys really feel that the homeless, you guys are not showing.
And also, there is a rise of homelessness in Seaside alone. I've been seeing so many.
This is what I'll tell you.
This is what I'll tell you. I'm seeing more.
We take direction. Police department, other city departments from city council, right? So city council, the last city council meeting, there was a request to extend the time frame where people could stay at Roberts Lake. There was no second.
Right.
No one said, I second that, let's take a vote. Which to us and to the city manager is an indication, okay, we have allowed this. We have people to stay here for an extended period for as long as we can because we have residents.
As long as you want to.
No, so what do we do?
That's before the governor implemented all these new restrictions again, brother. You understand?
I understand what you're saying.
So another vote, something needs to happen before you guys have to, you know what I'm saying? Honestly.
And so
you're spending an awful lot of money on yourself.
If I have the timing correct, it was when the pandemic started that the city manager said, you can stay here.
No, a little bit afterwards, and then you guys try to kick him out, and I advocate for everybody. Somebody spoke up for me. I got a meeting with the mayor that day with the city manager. Then the same day, they lifted the ordinance for people to sleep in their vehicles, and allowed me to establish something there at Roberts Lake. Right. They didn't help out by just putting one porta potty down there with a few trash cans. They never helped out they did anything after that. And the reason being is because they're being vacated. Is because some foolish member of my community dumped in a trash can. Now everybody got to pay for it.
I got you.
Okay, and that's just putting me in layman's terms, brother.
I understand.
Okay, so look, I'm just saying it needs to be handled a lot better than what it's being handled, and my people need a fair shot of somewhere to actually go.
So, and what I will say is, I've seen the correspondence between the city manager, right? And so these terms were agreed upon a long time ago. And the city manager, let me finish.
He thought there was going to be pressure point of actually making it, okay, fine, the 13th, but now aren't you guys going to worry about the clock winding down
so
too?
it seems like that those conversations, if they should have happened during that time frame between when the email started and the 13th. Because from what I read, so let me just finish, please, because from what I read, it was okay, we'll be out. There are a couple of people who have issues with their RVs. We'll get them fixed, and then can we get an extension for the people who need their vehicles fixed? And the CM said, you know what? Let me know who those people are.
Right.
We'll figure out a way to fix the vehicles or find somewhere to take them to.
Just before yesterday, before the restrictions were put in place. You understand what I'm telling you?
I understand what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Something, and even John corresponding, you talking about my correspondence. This is keep it real.
Okay, I didn't know who you were.
My name's Antoine Hunter.
Okay.
My court, but then again, I told him yesterday, you see that, and that's why I told you Deputy. I said, okay, if you guys read this correspondence, you guys read the correspondence from last night. Okay? I told him, I said, if you move my people, you put them basically in danger because of COVID-19. Okay? And when we make these agreements, okay, we talked about reallocating the people somewhere else. Giving them somewhere else to go. Okay? So they keep hitting me with objections. Why is it our problem?
No. So here's the thing.
I mean, come on, that was during the council meetings. This is exactly what they got to say.
This is the truth. This, we all know, is not a single city problem, right? This is
and every city has their own problem as well.
And if I may just say on topic, but the topic is in our city, but I'm saying the people that are here, the people that have been a part of the community for 3 months, okay, being vacated.
Right, those are residents.
I thought there's something, you know, I feel like I got hootie pool, man. You know what I'm saying?
You guys know what you're doing. You know what you're doing when you speak to
right, and you speak with open discrimination
a certain
too.
way, and you give them a runaround. No, I know. Trust me. Okay, I talked to no, okay, but you may not have the deputy. I'm sorry. Could you repeat her name? What was the
deputy chief.
The
the blonde lady.
She's the blonde hair blonde.
She's the
deputy chief. Yes,
She refused to answer any of my questions because she was on the hunt. She was like, you guys gotta go out, first of all. And she was so blasé about it because she was like, well, okay, I want this 12, like I want peace, like whatever's left, you just take it. So blasé about people's lives, first of all. And also the fact that she was she's so rude about it. If she didn't give me a second, and then once she did give me a second, she's just repeating, I'm not in position, then telling me to go when, okay, you have a more respected position than I am. I am just a citizen.
Okay.
Yes, I am trying to
you do have more power.
Let's say on topic, what is it in your power to do so we can just put this on hold so we can come you know what I mean?
Yeah, my power is to follow the instructions I received from the city manager.
There we go.
The conversation I had with the city manager, and I shared this with you, is at the last council meeting, he takes direction from council. That's what he works for. Let me finish. And I know what you're going to say.
Can I show you an email from John Wilson?
And what did the email say?
You know what, the city manager does not need to be doing this. I agree with you. Can I show you
right, but he should have said that during the council meeting.
Last night, he said he was going to talk to the city manager, but I never got another course.
So I'll talk to the city manager because here's the truth.
I'm not going to meet with
Please, what is the truth?
2 hours, you guys are planning to
Can I please?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Nothing's going to happen until I say it happens.
Okay,
right?
then.
So, but I still have to follow the instructions and the directive that I get. And so the city manager's understanding is based off of the last city council meeting, and I understand that things have changed since then.
I'm going to turn along, exactly.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that now the state has said, you know what, we need to go back to more restrictive policies.
Thank you.
And so maybe that changes things, and maybe they'll reach out to the city manager saying, you know what, hold on a second, we need to discuss this at council on Thursday.
Okay.
And you had that conversation yesterday at all?
There was no council meeting last Thursday.
So so let me talk to the city manager.
Okay.
All right.
Did you have that conversation with him yesterday at all? About the shelter in place restrictions being...
So he was aware of that yesterday when he gave me the edict.
You guys agenda with some legal allegation.
Right, so...
You guys had to address, correct?
So,
because you're part of the council in a, you know what I mean, in a way too, right?
Not really.
I mean, you almost on every meeting.
I just listen.
Right.
Because your heart's missing, you sound like Denzel Washington.
Oh.
I listen. So he was aware of the new restrictions yesterday when he suggested that we move the vehicles out yesterday. He said, hold on, let's have another, talk to some of the tow companies because there needs to be some time frame associated with them responding. I'll talk to him again today because now there might be new information from another council member, but again, he goes based off of what he gets at those meetings, and there wasn't a second. That was before things have changed.
But that was the second now. So I almost have 3 in my pocket.
So let me have a conversation with him, all right?
So with Enriquez, you know, he's like, you know, yeah, no, it's obvious we still got a lot of work to do as far as the cycle goes, at least. And of course, my argument would be like, no, you should have had the work done before you even got to this point to be pushing people out. Think about Martin versus Boise, and of course, every city does this, work right around it, right? But you're supposed to have somewhere for people to go if you're going to drive them out, especially on public property. Okay, these are. You know.
We're talking about a couple of different things here. Because one is you have a vehicle and one is a person. And I know those are distinctions.
It's affordable housing, so I mean,
so it's one thing where there's a person who has nowhere to, and it's an individual, and you're like, you need to get up off this bench, or you need to get out of this park. You're in a tent. This tent cannot be on city property. We've got to find somewhere for you to go. These are mobile vehicles, and I think the city manager provided a list of state parks where people.
These are actually closed.
Those are closed. Okay. So let me talk to the city manager.
Right, and so yeah, no, and it's okay. So you mentioned Seaside being the most compassionate city around, right?
I believe.
Okay, if you do 30% on a test, is that passing? You need at least 70, right?
No, it's not passing. Yeah.
No, so what we're doing, we have a large disconnect with doing things the way we've always done it, without worrying about the ramifications, what's going to happen next. What do you think is going to happen next? If they're not allowed here, where are they going to park? Do you think they're going to get police contact?
So let me ask you this.
Like, are you guys gonna search for all of these vehicles once they are moved away and let them know, oh, these are resources? You're gonna go and find every single person that's dispersed.
So that's what they're trying. They should be doing up front, and that's what we will do. Because typically our homeless
then
liaison.
you guys are gonna go search out for each person.
No, beforehand. That's what should happen. What is it that you need? Because and the truth is, there aren't enough resources for everybody that needs them. We all know that. Right? So even if I say, here's a resource for you, they might have.
Better than this.
Sure.
What's happening right now?
And let me ask you, are other cities allowing these RVs to park in their city?
Yes.
Who is doing it?
Salinas.
Which park?
Sherwood Park.
Sherwood Park is allowing RVs to park there.
So you're gonna say, let's push all of Seaside.
No, I just want to understand who else is doing this. And so now that you said that, I'll reach out to Adele Forsay and ask her if the city is allowing them to do that. Because I don't think that's happening here on the peninsula outside of Seaside.
Right, it's not sanctioned, but it's not being attacked.
And just for reference, I do have kids. I have an 8-month-old baby that's down there.
There is
and
one.
a lot of my community members, I just got a text from Eric Johnson, the manager knows who he is. That people that actually depend on food, they be dropped over there every Tuesday and Friday, brother. Okay. And he just literally called me, oh, can I still drop off food? I'm like, yeah, we got to
right now.
They literally get food dropped down there every Tuesday, Friday, and we have other congregations that actually come down there and donate food and time as well. I was on the barbecue every weekend on a month, man, to get people.
I got you.
The city porta potty there, the city porta potty that they have there, that they said to use, doesn't get clean. Last time, the woman told me that
That's the United one.
Was the 6th. It's supposed to come every 2 days, they said. It is flooded to the point, and you tell me that you guys are working tirelessly and working really hard.
I didn't say we working tirelessly.
Okay, you didn't say that. I'm not gonna put words in your mouth, but you know what? I'm getting that. You're saying it's the most passionate. No one else is doing it.
This is what I'm saying. I know our city manager personally, and I know how compassionate he is and how much he does for our community. So I know that beyond.
Yeah, and I'm not saying anything on his character. I'm just saying the actions right now. This is not okay. Okay, and also the fact that you guys are saying all of these things, but there's evidence that it doesn't really seem that way. And the fact that, like, if you guys really cared so much and if the city manager was so passionate, why do you send officers that don't know anything? They're just saying, we're just doing what we're told.
Sometimes that happens because information doesn't always flow. You know how it goes. You say one thing to one person, then it gets changed. What I'm saying is when you say something to one person, it typically gets morphed into something else down the line.
And there again, it goes to the culture of the environment.
So what he was trying to explain was people needed to leave. Now, maybe he didn't do it in the best way possible, but he was following what he was being told that vehicles
Wait,
needed
so
to be moved by
he's the one that enforces that, but so if he's following orders, we don't talk to the city manager, we have to talk to whoever.
So that's why I'm here.
Right?
That's why I'm here.
Right. This is appreciated.
So
I'm the chief.
So you're the person that.
I'm the person that you need to talk to. If you've got a problem with what an officer is doing, I'm that person.
Okay, well, I don't have a problem with the officer, I have a problem with the department.
That's fine.
And-
What you have a problem with is the fact that we're asking people to leave and we haven't provided a solution, from what I understand.
Yes.
And what I'm telling you is I'm getting instruction from my city manager, who takes it from the city council, that didn't get a second when that suggestion was brought up that we extend the period that people can stay at Robert Slade.
Right, which actually proves how not compassionate Seaside is.
So, and again, back to, I know that things have changed because of the shelter in place and what the governor's done, but if there was a concern about where to go, that should have been discussed when the city manager said you have until the 13th.
Well,
And those discussions should have taken place then.
well,
Okay, but you still have discretion. You know, if you're the convinced
What I'm saying
mailer.
is, whoever's representing the group should have said city manager.
Oh, so
Can I finish, please? Can I finish, please?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Because I'm allowing you to speak. How about we figure out a long-term solution? Those are concrete conversations that should have taken place. And I'm not saying that we don't need to do our due diligence and try to figure out how to support whatever it is we can do to make.
Well, actually make a choice, not just figure it out. You know what the solutions are, you just choose not to.
Right.
No, what I'm telling you is, what did I say? Okay. What I said is I will talk to the city manager. Did I not say that?
Yes.
And ultimately, if the city manager says,
Right.
what I asked you to do was this,
Well, and
and he's following the city council's lead, our responsibility is to follow. It's not immoral, illegal, or unethical. It may be inconvenient and it may put people in a, but I've got
worse harm's way.
You don't think it's immoral?
You're creating a state-created danger.
Please.
To touch a little bit, it could be considered immoral. What you're not questioning what?
Yeah, right, and that's where you should be challenging your city manager and your city council.
Jay wants to talk to you.
Okay. Sorry. let me hold on.
I just want to inform you that when this started, right, and we established this, I thought long term, and I knew that sooner or later this would have to come to an end. Okay. But as soon as I figured that out, I talked to Wes, and we came together with a nice proposal of an actual RV place or some kind of camping or park for homeless residents.
Makes sense.
Okay. Craig completely ignored it and never even brought it to the council's attention. So I did put my best foot forward on this.
Thank you.
I can show you the email. I can show you the
appreciate
email.
that. Thank you.
And to further, give credence to that idea that we're like,
Remember?
you and your superiors, if you say take your orders from the city council and the city manager, they are paid a nice salary, they have offices, they have a lot of resources, they have the internet, they have offices. These people don't even have their cell phones most of the time. So to put the pressure onto them to do the research, to figure out a solution.
Instead of it being a training policy and procedure issue.
Obviously knew this was an issue. The city council, anybody with like any kind of two brain cells knows, okay, we're gonna tell them to move, they're gonna have to go somewhere.
Right, and there's nowhere to go. It's straight to the tow truck.
So what I do know is that the city manager said this should be a regional solution. And one of the things that Seaside is willing to do is say one
Pass your problem off to everybody in the peninsula. That's a bogus solution. I'm sorry, I cannot help it.
We don't have to agree with one another for me to listen to you and for you to listen to me. That's the only way we're going to get to where we at least understand people's positions. So the city manager said, I'm willing to say one day out of the week, people can park overnight in a certain space. If other cities on the peninsula follow that lead, people would have somewhere to be every night.
Another thing though, because a lot of people don't have income to move their.
Would it be large enough to
day of the week.
for everybody on the peninsula?
Gas.
Not
Think
just only
about
Seaside
gas.
stuff?
It's a huge expense.
Yeah.
So,
And
and
you
you
don't
all
have
raised,
an income?
I will tell you this, you all raised some very valid concerns. And I am not by any stretch of the imagination dismissing that, because it's real.
Right, but, and it should block your decisions.
So what I will do, as I stated, is since there's a change in this position of the state with regard to COVID-19 and how cities should be responding, I will talk to the city manager. Perhaps he has gotten some further clarification from some council members about how to move forward with this particular situation and whether there's an extension or whatever the case may be. That's what I can promise you. I can't solve it today, and I can't say, hey, city manager, you know what? I know you're not getting direction from council to ask them to stay here or to allow them to stay here. So what? I'm going to let them stay. That's...
I don't think this
No, that's but it should be part of your position as far as like, you're not giving me enough tools to actually do my job properly.
You have a position. You have a
My position.
Did you hear what he just said though?
Yeah.
Did you hear what he just said? He's gonna actually, you know what I'm saying, go outside of the line and help the people at Rockland.
amazing.
Am I hearing that correctly?
So what I said is I talked to the city manager to see if he's gotten feedback from other council members.
I appreciate that very much, and I understand that. And I appreciate you talking to me. I do, and I respect that. I'm just saying, I'm sorry, but try, and I will talk to them. It's not going to be enough for me because just as yesterday, you guys said we have to move them. They were told, and yet we were still able to get them one more night.
You know why? Because I told them to wait. That's why.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
But ultimately, I told the city manager because he
wasn't finished. I was, and I'm not asking you to just like, oh yeah, it's easy, we're gonna do this. No, I know this is a very difficult thing for you to do.
It's not.
You can't go against orders, you certainly can't go against
ask
orders.
these people to like stay longer than just a day.
It's not difficult, but ultimately, if the city manager says, I hear what you're saying, it makes sense. However, here are some other issues we need to consider, and I need to have them go. So I don't mind posing the argument based upon what you stated with the change in the state mandate, the fact that people don't have anywhere else to go, the fact that there are deliveries made every Tuesday and Friday for people to get food, and they don't know where they're going to go. I have no problem doing that. But ultimately, I've got to follow the direction of the people I work for.
What are they?
And it's not like they're saying, anyway, sorry.
What are these other issues that you speak of that are preventing them from staying?
Yeah, what cars can't park there? Like, I honestly don't think, it's a lake.
So
it's about sharing.
So you all might not hear the complaints, but we have had complaints.
Okay, and
parking.
Okay, can I ask, like, what are the complaints about just parking? Seriously? These people literally have nowhere to live. These other people can't just go to the beach. The beach is right there. You can't go to a different lake. There's Dennis the Menace. There's a nice lake right there. There's a dog pond, in fact. You can ride little duck thingies, the duck paddles. Seriously? You're gonna take their word that this is inconvenient for me. I can't park here. I can stay at this nice hotel, but I can't park here.
Yeah.
But these people who literally don't know where to go in the next day or two, you are giving them, 2 hours? They said, I know you said you'll talk to them, but from what the last thing that I was told is that at noon, she said at noon they're gone. Okay, she said she's gonna tell them at noon. So she was very, very direct in this. I'm sorry, I'm a little.
I understand, and you should be upset. I understand. I'm not offended.
I'm just saying that these people, they literally don't have a place to go in a day or two, and you are taking the complaints of, I don't have a place to park, over the fact. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's 100 complaints versus 1. It's a human life that you are considering convenience over a person's life. And that is how the world is currently running. Do you see our president right now? Do you see what he's doing?
So,
I don't think he's a fan.
I'm not a fan.
No, I am not a fan.
I don't think he's a fan.
Let him answer your question.
You have a voice that you can say, even if your superiors are saying something else. What, if Trump's saying something, you gonna take that?
So here's the thing, if I felt what he was telling me was illegal, immoral, or unethical, I would not do it. But I understand exactly what you're saying.
That's where we're asking your compassion to find it.
And what I'm not going to do is say, city manager, I hear what you're saying, I'm not doing it. Because I don't feel it's immoral, illegal, or unethical. I think there should be a more holistic solution that the peninsula should be involved in.
Okay.
But I don't think what he's asking is illegal, immoral, or unethical.
But what you're actually asking is the whole peninsula to take on Seaside's problem instead of the whole peninsula taking on the whole peninsula's problem.
Agreement to where we can get some time until the deliberations, you know what I'm saying, are done, to get the time frame from our people at the levy to the, you know what I mean?
So again, let me talk to the city manager again. I think it would be
I don't think it's gonna.
beneficial for you to talk, because
yes, we're waiting for him.
Okay.
and then you can talk to him, and then we'll revisit this before we get to
The
the
new-
witching hour.
Right.
And see what we can do. Because I believe me, I understand, and I get it. I know people are struggling and don't have anywhere to go.
You have no idea.
Right. And
Look, I asked the city council, I said, okay, since you guys are so in tune with your community, I'm gonna ask you this as well. Can you name first and last name, anybody that you know here in this community that's homeless?
Not now, but they will.
But don't you see that, that's concerning?
Yeah.
You understand what I mean by
I
that?
get you.
I'm on the front lines. I've been on the front lines man, since this has happened, bringing this community together. So of course, I mean, I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask to be a leader for these people, but it fell into my life and I took the initiative.
I understand.
Right. So because this started over COVID, you know, morally, you said morally, dude, this is, this has to plug at your heartstrings sometime.
You told me something I didn't know. I didn't know state parks were closed.
Yeah.
And I guess they just closed because the city.
you should.
Yeah, please let him say.
And I know you believe I should as the chief, but I rely on people to provide information to me because I don't know everything. And I don't pretend I do. And if I pretend I do, then something's wrong.
Wait, so
And you shouldn't trust what I say.
You didn't know that the COVID cases are rising again? I think that was a.
That's not what I said.
Okay.
I said about state parks.
Okay,
Yes.
well, and I'm telling you,
Okay.
regardless whether state parks are closed or
Weird and
not, to
alternative.
evict these people, it could
But what I'm saying is, if state parks were open, that would be an
If
option.
state parks are open, a lot of public local people would be going there.
Please, can I hear what he's
We
saying?
checked all the big service parks and all that.
No, he's saying that he didn't know that.
Oh, no, yeah,
exactly.
And we're
So-
saying that. When I said even if it was open, there would be locals there, because right now, when everything opened up, Fisherman's Wharf was packed. Okay, I went to try and skate by, just get a little air, and I saw Fisherman's Wharf packed, and I'm pretty sure those were locals. So don't tell me that if parks are open, state parks are open, you think that these RVs are gonna have any space when there's gonna be locals flooding it, especially knowing like,
Yeah, so I promise you, I'll talk to the city manager.
Thank you, and I'm sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
I don't want to attack you or anything.
You have every reason to be passionate and upset.
concerned.
I get it. And I don't take offense. I don't. So I appreciate you sharing your concerns and really giving me greater insight into what the challenges are. And I'll talk to the city manager and see what we can come up with.
He's right there.
Okay.
So okay, yeah, I mean, but if they do get driven out, you know, and this thing just plays out the way that it's expected to, you know, what do you see the next step being? Because where they park, are they going to be welcome?
Yeah, so that's a bigger question that I, as the chief of police, can't answer. That's something that city council, in partnership with other municipalities, are going to have to come up with. Because this is really a peninsula-wide problem.
But it's also your problem because this is supposedly your job, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
my job is not
saving lives, not making them
But
worse,
my job
right?
is not solely, let's come up with I'm relying on you, right? So you should know, being on the front lines, what are some of the possible solutions?
Well,
to
the
this
permission to
problem?
be somewhere is the first one. The cheapest one is just permission to be somewhere.
And so we have to find that place, and maybe that place isn't Robert's Lake.
Right. Well, and it's as compassionate as you were for 3 months, now you're ready to go back to business as usual.
But what I'm telling you is there can be another long-term solution, and it doesn't have to be Robert's Lake.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm not opposed to people leaving
that's why I'm
Robert's Lake.
saying you're part of the solution by saying, well, what about this location?
Right.
Well, what about here?
Right, but you know, and because it's land, nobody wants no way. So it's never available yet. What's going to happen? People are going to get towed. Their affordable housing is going to get lost.
So we will be meeting with them, and hopefully we'll be convincing them tomorrow.
Okay, so I just want to.
Is there any way that we can establish some kind of outside meeting, like how we're doing now, so the people from Robertson, because not everybody has phones that wants to be included.
Not everyone has internet, exactly. So that does kind of.
My people do it. I mean, they want to participate down at Robert's Lake.
Okay, let me think.
Can't exactly access the
internet. You know, do they have cell phones? Do they have...
Some of my people don't have cell phones. I've been, you know, trying to get them Obama phones.
Right, and we can do conferences. We can do conferences by phone.
Anybody have an iPad?
Yes.
Just to ask that, you have to understand where you stand compared to those people, and it shows that I feel like you don't really understand where people at Roberts Lake are coming from.
Yeah.
to say.
I've been homeless myself in my life.
Okay, I'm sorry,
Yes.
I didn't understand that, but
Okay,
to
so,
also.
I mean,
This is new.
And I allowed the encampment to occur.
Okay.
So I have understanding. I've been down there and I've had very nice meetings with Mr. Hunter for
3
some
months,
months.
yeah, months.
Right.
Yeah, months,
So
man.
I'm
Right,
quite
so
aware.
people are Seaside residents for sure.
And I just
Quite
wanted.
empathetic.
Okay, and I wanted to ask a
But
question.
then,
Sure.
And I'm just asking, so they made this vote whether they should extend it and no one seconded it, is that correct? And that's the reason why they're being evicted, right?
well, yeah, the
Okay,
topic
so
came up.
why, can I ask how many people are on that council? 5 people. So out of 5 people, not one of them wanted to say, let's extend?
No.
Let Craig answer.
Okay,
Thank you.
I just need clarification.
Sure. So what happened at the last council meeting, the item on the agenda was twofold. Can we create 4-hour parking limits in our parking lots? We have 2 parks that have parking lots. And there's nothing that stops somebody from being there from dawn to dusk. And that stops our residents from being able to go there. Okay, so that was on the agenda, and then as part of that, there was the idea to allow in Seaside RVs to park 1 night a week, really just right across the street. So that was what was on the agenda. And through discussion of those 2 items, Councilmember Campbell made a motion to sort of extend the timeline at which people would have to move from Robinson. And so he made that motion, and there was no second to the motion.
Exactly, so that's what I'm saying.
Now, at the time, Councilmember Kaspersky was not at that meeting. So what just happened this morning is Councilmember Campbell made a request for a special meeting on homelessness. And under our rules, 2 council members or the mayor have to agree to that, which just happened 20 minutes ago. So we'll have a meeting tomorrow at 6:30.
Okay. Does that affect anything for the tow today?
Yeah. I just said that we are holding enforcement in abeyance until we receive further council direction.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
So no evictions are taken.
Not today until after decisions are made and direction is given.
But do you feel like you have any say against whatever direction is given to you? Or do you just kind of follow the rules?
Ma'am, I work for the elected officials of this great city.
Right.
And when a majority of the elected officials of this great city direct me to do something, I do it.
So can you also try
That's
to...
my job.
So you're not getting top down or
I don't mean to offend you. I'm not trying to say it rudely. I'm just a little...
Well, her question was, I interpreted your question to be, can I disobey orders? And I can if they're illegal or immoral.
You don't think this is immoral then?
I don't think what's immoral.
Evicting homeless people?
During the pandemic.
Especially considering that you were homeless.
Yeah, he's only got one train of thought.
I know you hear a lot of people, but I can also hear all these people and still grasp the information. Like, I know it's a lot, but like...
No, but I'm happy, honestly, if somebody asks me a question, I'm happy to answer it. And then if you ask me a question, I'm happy to answer it too.
Okay, I understand that, but there were a couple times where I was trying to speak and you cut me off because you said, I need to speak, so I felt a little offended. I'm sorry. And I just wanted to say that, yes, I was asked, if you wouldn't do this if it was illegal, immoral, or unethical. 2 out of those 3 things are happening right now. It is immoral and unethical because right now it is a rise of corona cases, as well as you are evicting people who you say that you guys don't have any alternatives right now. You guys don't know where to put them. You don't know where to allocate them or anywhere else like that. And yet you're saying that, oh, okay, we're gonna still evict them. And then once these people do disperse and you finally find where to put them, are you really going to go search out every single people that was at Roberts Lake to let them know
where to go. I don't see
That
that
issue.
happening because I heard that they wanted to do that, but that's going to take some time. This is immediate.
focus.
You were planning to tell them today. And that's the thing, like you guys say like, oh, you guys need to do this, you guys need to do this, when all of the things that we're fighting for take so much time, and yet you're called to, oh, I understand it took some time and it took a vote, but to tow them, you said, yes, you gotta tow them. And you know, it
Sorry,
seems
the
a
wrong
little
decision to
bit
come
like,
to.
I don't know, you're making it really difficult for people who are really trying to fight for what I believe, yes, is ethical, and like it is immoral and unethical for you to be pushing these people. Literally, they have nowhere else to go, and you expect them to find somewhere else when we don't even know where, and we have all of the resources that we could possibly imagine compared to them, and yet we're expecting them to leave once we say leave, and then say they go out to other cities. And say maybe you hope that there's a city that allows for them to park, but that's a hope. And also, like, if they go to another city and the same thing happens again, like, you're just pushing a problem to other people because you're like, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. And the fact that also these are people, I understand it's once a week, that's a lot even to fight for that, but these are people who, like, I heard there's an 8-month-old baby as well, and to constantly move and take care of your child and your family, that's difficult.
I had objections by
Consistency in
the
your
other
life.
council members in the other cities, and basically what they said that they had other properties and organizations put in place to not actually participate in a program that you offer. Basically, they said that, well, we already have something put in place. You know what I mean?
Again, I'm happy to answer questions and get input. I really am. I feel like Seaside is actually trying to help.
Yeah.
It needs to try harder.
Did you know
And we're
about
having
the city?
and we're having a special meeting tomorrow to
Appreciate it.
Yeah, but
Appreciate it.
Did you notice how it took us to come here for you guys to have that special meeting, as well as
to be fair, Councilmember Campbell asked his colleagues whether or not they would like to have a special meeting, and 2 of his colleagues said yes, and that's why we're having it.
Okay, but it was pushed from yesterday.
I'm not saying that that's
No.
a bad thing.
Right on.
But like, we're just recognizing that if we hadn't done that, they would have told them yesterday morning. They were ready to do so.
Yeah, like they were.
I'm a big fan of civil, disobedience.
Right
Well,
involvement.
Look,
the tough thing
the
to
main
be
issue,
a fan of, but I am.
right. So just like I've been telling the officers, just like I've been telling the other council members, right? The main reason why we established the cabinet was to protect everybody from COVID-19 that was home.
Sure.
Since the status has changed and the governor's putting more restrictions on that, right? They should stay put. And if you would like them to relocate, then we need to establish something for them. But the main objections that I keep hearing from you and the mayor is, it's not, why is it just our problem?
Right, not my problem.
But I'm going to raise this question, because I even asked Campbell this. How long does it take somebody to actually live in Seaside before you actually consider them a resident of our community?
Right.
Because remember, I heard this paper from Bakersfield, I heard you people, so that's why I asked.
Right. Register to vote. 30 days? 90 days? Maybe a technical question.
Immediately. How about that?
Okay. So now,
I'm in this line of work.
Okay.
I'm in this line of work because I think that government can provide solutions and help people.
Okay. So now that you said, immediately, then you consider all the people around the Slipper community of Seaside. Residents of Seaside.
I consider people who live in, visit Seaside as people that here's how it really works. When you dial 911, we don't ask who you are, where you're from. We just come running to help. That's how cities operate. Okay? That's why you can be here, and if you went to the county or someplace, you wouldn't get this kind of welcome. Would you, Wes?
Probably not.
Ever seen it?
No, it's more difficult.
Okay, so we're here because we're an empathetic community.
I did
Thank
what
you.
you asked me to do. I did outreach to the other council members.
Wait, and that's great, and I hope they follow Seaside's lead there.
No, that's what I'm saying. They basically shut it down and say, oh, well, we already have something put up in place. We're not going to follow your lead.
I'm sorry, sure, and I'm just stepping back so I get the field of view.
Yeah.
I had a question because I've heard a lot of city council members say, I've heard city staff say that the encampment at Roberts Lake was too expensive to maintain. But I don't understand what kind of resources the city was actually putting towards that. As from what I understand and from talking to the residents there, they do all the work to keep it basically clean themselves. They did mention that the one porta potty that was provided by the city is not pumped as often as it's supposed to be.
Well, the last time was
and from what I understand, towing all of these vehicles costs money. And all of these other enforcement officers being on the site, that costs the city money. So when you say it's too expensive to maintain, but it's actually more expensive to break apart, I don't understand.
Thank you.
We provide trash collection every day. I don't have the dollar amount.
But you would do that regardless, right? Because of
yeah, but it would, no, we wouldn't do it probably every day. In normal circumstances, there's not that amount of people there. So
you mean like emptying the trash cans?
Yeah. And so we do that. I think the issue, as I understand it, is Seaside has 2 parks that have parking lots, and what's on the agenda, what was on the agenda last time is if people are parked in those spaces, then people who from Seaside who might want to drive down and park there to use the park can't do it. So we said, and we've done this for months now. I mean, we've been at this for months. We said, these are challenging times for people, and before when we started this under the very rigorous shelter in place. I'm looking at Anton because I have had many conversations, probably, and they're taped, and you can you can watch them if you like. So the idea was people were sheltering in place and people were using the park, right? So okay, let people park in the park, and it wasn't a permanent solution; it was a temporary thing. The things change a bit, where people can get out more, and people are like, can't get to the park.
So you guys were having quite a few complaints like that?
I don't know quite a few. I'll tell you, the thing that made a big difference to me was people started putting fecal material in the garbage cans that are
I understand that did happen one time, and I know that it was confirmed or it was in an email.
I have pictures of it. I mean, it's not like it's a hoax. It happened.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm responsible for the safety of our employees.
Right.
So again, the item got to the city council agenda, and the people who are elected to serve are the ones who sort of work on the big policy questions of, can Seaside be the leader in allowing people to park one night a week, and if it's 1 night a week or 2 nights a week, and ultimately the council will decide to try to help them. So we're trying to help. Yes, ma'am. Wait, did I answer that adequately?
Wait, kind of. I mean, you didn't really address how much it costs you to actually clear out the park versus how much it costs you.
Well, it certainly costs more to clear out the park than it is to leave it as is.
Okay.
That's certainly true.
Well,
hold on.
go ahead.
You have not answered.
Well, she brought up a good point. How do you differentiate between like human poop and dog poop in a trash can?
That's a good question.
Like dog shit goes in there. If it happened on
I didn't send it down to. I'm not making light of it. I didn't send it down to the lab. It appeared to be. It appeared to be human. It appered to be of a scale for humans.
What is big dog question?
Considering I just got here, and sorry if you answered this question before, but when you were going to evict these people this morning, correct? Were you giving these people any resources about where to go?
Well,
Let 'em.
So I'm here and they're there, and I went and visited. I made sure that our police department, I told our police department,
Don't do it.
CSUMB parking lots are open, and here's a list of 80 state park campgrounds that are open.
Craig, I gave you.
Well, some are closed and some are open. If you go on the state park website, they'll give you the list.
Where's the closest one?
I
Big Sur.
did inform you
It's
yesterday
closed.
via email that the CSUMB president, it's a no-go for the parking lots. Big Sur, they're parking, they're closed.
constructing
They're
right now,
done.
too.
They're done over there at Big
They're
Sur.
also thieves. So when this,
Well, yes, we tried to
Okay.
give people ideas for where to park.
so when you have the city council meeting tomorrow,
That's compassion.
If those 5 city council members still vote the same way, and you having to uphold whatever decision they make, no matter if it's immoral or unethical, are there still going to be no resources for these people Thursday morning when that time comes?
Touch right.
I think I'm going to answer your question this way.
Okay.
It may not be satisfactory, but I know that council members have asked me, and I've looked around, and I've said, are there other places in Seaside that people can park that don't take away a park from our residents to park in? So, and there are. Eucalyptus Road is one. There's something called the Nurses Barracks. It's an old Army thing. An old place where the Public Works building used to be. There are parking lots available. The question for the council will be, do we want to move? Do we want to allow people to park there? And then the questions get more complicated. They get,
Right, for how long, and what do you do?
for the people that we have today, or what if someone wants to move in tomorrow? I mean, so those are the questions that will be discussed tomorrow, I would imagine. Yes, ma'am.
So you talked about complaints and everything like that. Can I just ask, what was the complaint kind of like? Can you give me a general idea what the complaints kind of were based on? Like, oh, it's like I
Parking.
can't park here. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I think
when it's Corona, I don't think we should all be like meeting up anyway. So we shouldn't be like just going out to doing things that we need to be doing, right? And then really parking. Is that
No.
I'm sorry.
What other complaints?
No, I know. I was just finishing a thought. Go ahead.
Okay. I think the essence of it is that Seaside has only 2 parks that have parking lots. That's 2. We're not blessed with all the parking
Open
lots
land.
like the county would have, as an example. And as I said before, when we first started this, everyone was locked down in their house and they couldn't get out. And it was like, okay, the parking lot's not being used, so let's allow these people to use it.
Okay. Yeah.
And then over time, people are outdoors these days.
And now being told to go back indoors.
Well, yesterday, right? So as people were getting out and wanting to be out, that's a nice park that Seaside residents like to go to, and they
Complained that they couldn't park, right? So
Were there other
these people who have
complaints?
homes, who have places to go at the end of the day, they complained that they couldn't simply park there. And I know it may be months, but do you see the privilege that these people have, and that they can complain, and you're choosing that, oh, we have to listen to these complaints, we have to listen to these people who can't
About
park for
property.
1 day or 2 days or
Set of
several
people.
months. Who cares? It's one lake, there's another lake, and yeah, Seaside, it has 2 lakes, but hey, Monterey's right there, Marina's right there, they're not really far. And also, the fact that you're choosing the fact that voters are complaining about parking over the very fact that these people don't have anywhere else to go, and they're trying to live day by day right now.
No, I understand your concern. I do.
Okay, so what is your thought on that?
My thought on that is the reason that those people are there is because I first directed that we will not enforce the safety of vehicles ordinance.
Thank you.
Okay, and then the council ratified that. So Seaside was the one to let that occur.
Okay, and
then it died 3 months later.
So now you're responding to voters by towing these people, right? Like you're
Cool for 3 months.
Okay, well you let them stay, okay? Now
4 months.
now you're
4 months.
yeah, 4 months, okay. But now you're saying like they gotta go, right? They gotta go.
Time's
They're
up.
not ready to go. Like I said.
What, and I appreciate it. The part you're missing, and Anton,
Please.
an honest guy to me. You know, well, hold on. Well, was that we had conversations as probably in May about when are we going to end this?
Right.
Okay, so
the initial idea that we proposed was we should establish somewhere for them to go before we actually ask.
Right.
them.
And we're working on that, and we're working on it.
Land.
I mean, I don't want to discuss everything in the meeting, okay? I don't. But, you know, there were some things said that that I said if I was in your position, I would totally understand, okay? But to be frank with you, right? You know what I mean? That day, okay, and the days following, I really dug into the numbers of the Seaside City budget, okay? And I know what you said was valid. Seaside's pretty poor, okay? One. But the thing that was really concerning is that, I mean, the $33,000 that you guys did put into that shelter, okay? $2 million of it didn't come from you guys. And then at the year beforehand, there's no money that's really been allocated to the homeless whatsoever.
Well, I'm not.
So that's really concerning, to be honest with you.
So, and I'm just, I shouldn't say this when my camera's on because I'm probably going to get this wrong. But, you know, we budgeted $33,000.
Right.
We budgeted.
I think it's one per citizen, right?
$40,000 per citizen. We helped buy the vehicle that does the food last year. We budgeted $100,000, and I don't know exactly what we spent, but it's not small, on making sure that people, that little Connex box there is for people who leave their private belongings
and they can actually repurpose them later on. Because of the ground policy, right? Nothing, no personal belongings on the ground.
That's the Boise v. Martin case. Martin v. Boise case. So we do that, and we've allowed that to occur. I mean, actively, not appropriately, passively. So, and again, then the topic got on the council agenda about this. How long should somebody be able to park in our parking lots? All the time, or and what's on the agenda is 4 hours. You can park there 4 hours a day. And that's when the council let go. That's when the council provided direction.
Is there any other crimes? Like what crimes are they committing?
I don't know that there
Nobody's been arrested at Roberts.
So I'm just wondering.
The conditions
they're
that
literally not doing
excuse me, but the conditions that we agreed upon was everybody be lawful and everybody be clean, basically, right? You know what I mean? And we met those conditions pretty avidly, except for dog poop or human feces or whatever the case may be that occurred. One time.
Right. Yeah, and the violations were not evident when we went by.
Considering the city
that's
flooded,
true.
like I would shit on the ground too. Like if it's flooded up to the top, that's disgusting.
Okay,
and
but the thing is, though, I mean, for you to give me the new information, because I didn't know you were homeless. I had no idea. And if you did tell me that, I apologize if I didn't actually take that knowledge. But to be quite frank, I think that if that was the case, and I know you're going to make the argument that we let them stay there in the first place, and that's commendable. I get that, but I think that the way this has been handled, right, is a little kind of, we could have did better. We could have did better.
Well, and you and I.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And you and I.
Yeah.
We met on the 3rd, and you said the 13th would be fine.
Right. Well,
hold on.
Explain that.
And there were 2 people that you said that needed help to move their RVs, and I said the city's happy to pay for them tow them someplace else so that until they can get enough money to go fix it. Look, that happened.
No, I understand, but I'm just saying that he had a thrust behind what he said, and he wasn't as clear as he could have been.
Because I don't know fully, but from what I understand, he had been told that this was going to happen even before the 13th.
Yeah, it was.
He was trying to advocate for his
It was.
community to get
Yeah, it
a
was
few
gonna.
extra days.
I think the third. Was it the third?
And then everybody keeps saying, well, he agreed to the 13th. But he was in a
just trying to
he was
get
in
an
a corner,
extended
and he was just
Right.
trying to get his
He was hoping to light a fire under your butt just as much as his.
See, look, what I'm
That's
saying,
what actually happened.
we're just spinning our wheels now. What I'm saying is, right, and I know the reason why you guys want to move them out. Again, I'll keep that to myself and I won't divulge that information. But I will say this, so we can have a peaceful working relationship and actually make this work. And I will carry some of the workload with this, okay? I'm new at this, exactly, right? You know what I mean? I got thrown into this leadership position by the people down there because I was down there the longest. We just need to do better. We need to do better. You know, I don't want to hear from the council anymore that, oh, well, this isn't our problem. I don't want to hear from the council anymore that, oh, well, you know what, we've been sitting in money and doing it. No, okay? I want to see actual progress. I want to see real results. I want to see my people put in hotels, in the houses, or at least, by the very
Permission
least, if
to
we
be.
have to move out the lake, to actually have a viable location that we can go
Meeting
to.
tomorrow at 6:30 in the town.
Okay.
Right, but like, I just don't think it's.
Okay, and yeah, no, it will be up to those council members to really direct it.
Made after this meeting tomorrow night, so to then be able to tow them out the following morning to me does not seem like it gives nearly enough time for a reasonable solution to come up with, and B, for them then to also be told the solution.
Again, there's a meeting tomorrow at 6:30. You're welcome to attend.
Yes.
I hope that you do.
But do you honestly
yes.
think our voices are going to actually be heard?
Why would we?
Why not?
Wait, I've answered a lot of questions. I'm going to ask one. Why would the city council call a special meeting if they didn't want to hear from people? I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me.
That's true.
It doesn't make any sense.
Right, and obviously they have something to say.
Well, I mean,
So-
the list you guys gave us was to help, and it really didn't really help.
No.
And, like, also.
Very empty.
Yeah, and like, it's really confusing when I'm getting so many different answers from so many different people. Like, one person doesn't want to talk to me, another person says to go talk to this person, and all of these people, they're telling me, you need to go here, you need to go here, you need to
Here
go
I
here.
am.
you need to go
I'm a city manager. I can tell you
And you're
most
telling
anything
me
that happens
that
to
I
Logan.
have to go to.
Wonderful.
I will say this though, just for anybody that wasn't at the meeting, right? They did talk about us for about 45 minutes when me, Wes, and another my member down at the encampment. I'm gonna stop saying encampment because it sounds derogatory.
No.
At the homeless camp, okay? That they really try to, you know what I mean? And
At the lake.
for us to get an extension, only one person came to bat for us, and that was camp. They was the only person like, you know what? We need to give them an extension. But by the grace of God, we have till Thursday now, so that during the emergency meeting tomorrow, everybody needs to be a part of it. If you're
Yes.
really concerned and generally want change, and for them to do something for the homeless individuals down at Robert Light, and that's including me myself, okay? For significant change, so the people that do have babies that are 8 months old, they participate, get involved.
It's one of the main issues, like budgeting for cleanliness, porta potty
They don't want to
pumping.
spend money on it. This is
Right, they got money for enforcement though, huh?
Right, exactly. Like I said, the objection, why is it our problem? And funding. Who's going to fund it? Who's going to fund it? Who's going to pay for it? That's what you're getting.
Yes, we have because we only have till Thursday morning and start trying to fund it.
Wednesday night.
Somehow, like the community.
Yeah, tomorrow night at 6, special
after
meeting.
This meeting, I will be going down to the Coalition of Homeless Services and talking to Roxanne Wilson to let her know what's happening.
And hopefully she can at least present a position.
Right, exactly. She wants to work with the council to get them more grants. And I have a grant, actually, I think in my car right now for the one I was telling you about, for $34 million to actually redevelop some land for mobile park configuration. It's $34 million. The city council or the city has to actually put in for this grant. The problem that I keep hearing is that the Seaside City Council or the city itself is not competitive enough when they come to grants. They keep leaving out housing, affordable housing. They keep leaving this key factor out of the proposals every time they put in for the grants.
Wouldn't it be funny if they could count RVs as homeless? Wouldn't it be funny if they could count these RVs as affordable housing units?
Okay, what do you think that would perspire from it?
Well, I mean, you know, it's a cheat, obviously, right? But just legitimizing people in their property. you know, as a possession of their affordable housing unit.
HDC announced mobile home park rehabilitation and resident ownership. Notice of funding available. The California Department of Housing and the Community Development, HDC, is pleased to announce the release of notice of funding available for the mobile home park rehabilitation and residential ownership program of approximately $34 million. Funding will enable a resident to organize nonprofit sponsor or local public agencies to do the following: convert, acquire, and or rehabilitate existing mobile home parks.
Not applicable here.
Excuse me. Rehabilitate existing mobile home parks to prevent them as a source of affordable housing, and to assist the park and residents with needed repairs, accessibility upgrades, and replacement of mobile homes.
Boom.
And this is just one. This is just one that just got announced. That was presented by me, by Roxanne Wilson, for me to bring this to the city council's agenda, right? For them to put in for, okay? So then I will be talking about this during the city council meeting tomorrow and see if they can actually implement this and actually put this in and work with the Coalition of Homeless Services like their main person.
They're partners.
That wants to do, right? Okay? Because they recognize the problem while Seaside's not getting grants and it would like to rectify it.
This could be a really good positive thrust, you know.
You know, except for being, at separate sides, let's all come together and actually fix the problem that's actually being held. Like I put in the proposal, right? Stop putting a band-aid on a long-term problem of homelessness that needs to be rectified.
You know, there are parking lots just on the other side of Highway 1, right? State parking lots, okay? And go see if you can have a conversation with the government on that, like you can have a conversation with me.
I don't understand why he's asking the people to do that when he's a man of power and in charge and he could do that himself.
It's all about passing the buck and not my problem.
And that's exactly what's been happening.
Deflect responsibility instead of accepting responsibility.
Yeah, I mean, the homeless money, the money for homelessness, mostly, I'm oversimplifying something, but mostly stops at the county. And then when the county makes decisions, and I'm not saying the county's bad, I'm just saying that's the way that it works. Thank you very much. Well, thank you.
What's up, man?
Yes, except it will cost more to leave them in any place that they're at. Right? I mean, it will cost us hundreds of dollars a day wherever they're at. For as long as they're there.
But like Anton said, hasn't it been the coalition that's
but it doesn't necessarily
Yeah,
cost
they've
anything
been footing the bill mostly entirely. And I'm sorry to cut you off, Craig. I'm sorry to say this, man, but I'm tired of hearing that, who's going to fund this, who's going to spend money on this, when you guys have really not spent any money when it comes to the homeless whatsoever.
But you're about to spend money on.
That's not true. That we've not spent any.
But also, I mean, when you,
Okay.
when you do
A drop in a bucket.
Minimal.
We've spent more money than cities that are far richer than us.
That's great.
West,
Okay.
nodding his head.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
You should be celebrating that you're a leader instead of just. But everybody, including yourself
Right,
and
but-
all of the city council members, instead, mostly what I've heard is say, "Well, why are we the only ones? Why are we the only ones?"
Right.
Instead of saying,
Sounds very babyish.
we're trying to show the other cities what they should be doing, and we're trying to be a leader." Instead of the comment is always, "Well, what? Well, we're not doing. Why does Seaside have to do it?"
Yeah, and that's
That's
not being a leader.
I'll give you the answer to that. Okay, I don't vote on this.
That's complaining about responsibility.
Yeah, that's what he says, he's passing the buck. That's all it's for.
Okay, so the question for any elected official is, how is this? How am I diligently doing the good work that I'm elected to do? I mean, they all do that.
Sure.
And because there's cities and counties and states and different jurisdictions, the question gets asked, well, is this, can the city of Seaside solve the problem itself? And, the true answer to that is, no, we can't. Okay. So we're trying to do some things that other cities aren't doing. And when people ask, are you doing enough? That's a fair question. and the council members get to answer that. But there are broader regional entities that have far greater financial resources than we do. That's just the truth.
And are you able to partner up with any of them? Have you made the effort?
Yes. I mean, you know, the shelter block from my house, which is great. That was an effort. That was a county building on county land, and you know, and Seaside welcomed it. And
Seaside Corporate, you mean?
What?
Seaside Corporate? Welcomed it?
No, I think Seaside, the community welcomed it.
Okay.
I mean, we did. I mean,
I remember, yeah, at Oldemeyer, a lot of people were very against it. At the pit? Is that what you're talking about, the pit? Or the Noche Buena, right across from the social services?
Sure.
Yeah.
But wait, wasn't the council? I think the council was unanimously supportive.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So people
The
had
city
concerns.
corporate, but community, yes. There you go.
I think people had concerns, but ultimately the community was supportive of it, and the council was unanimously supportive. And then we were just asked, you know, can we, you know, fund it $1 per capita? And again, the council unanimously said, yeah, we'll go do that.
Right on.
I mean, that
right
happened.
on. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate you guys calling an actual meeting. Hopefully that we actually come to some kind of real solution. You know what I mean? Something with some meat on it. You know what I mean? Like I've been asking for. So.
I welcome that. I've never been opposed to the idea of let's provide housing for homeless people.
No, but the only thing I keep hearing is if that's the case, then what I keep hearing is, well, who's going to fund it? You know what I mean? If this was an objection just with the porta potties when you first told me.
I like the idea, you're just not committed to it.
Oh, okay, well, if you find porta potties, I'll handle it. And then when I found porta potties, well, who's going to fund it?
No.
One step after the next.
The question was, the question was if we had multiple different providers, how were we going to make sure that they were provided the right, like, daily service?
Sure,
that was the issue. Wait, the first issue was we couldn't find them.
Porta potties.
And then we found them.
But what I'm saying is,
and then
you
they
told
were
me
there,
that
and we were
if
like,
I
great.
found the porta potties, if you gave me 100 porta potties right now, I would have no problem putting them down there. Then the next suggestion, we were like, okay, well, who's going to fund it?
And then there wouldn't be a worry for sanitizing.
Remember, because me and him were sitting there dumbfounded right here at the meeting, like, oh, well, that's not what was told. You said that I just have to find it. Not who's going to fund it. You gave me the impression that you were going to take care of it. But we handled it. The coalition take care of it on their dollar.
Extra layer.
Exactly. So just that example alone brings some serious meat to what I'm talking about, is that the Seaside's not actually funding for the homeless.
Yeah.
You understand where I'm getting this from, honestly.
Yeah.
So let's really do something. We have a chance to do do really good.
I mean, tomorrow at 6:30.
Excellent. Right on. Thank you, boss.
Actually, I think I do. I honestly think I do because
You say you welcome
the only person I keep hearing.
You say you welcome our voice. I'm so sorry to cut you.
Go ahead.
You say you welcome our voices, but you're not raising yours. Raise yours against the city council. Raise yours with us. You, as I understand,
there you go.
Homeless,
The reason
correct?
that those people are there is because I allowed it to happen.
For this long.
Do more, do better, because we're going to have to raise our voices
That's
one more
great.
time tomorrow night. And I want
No,
to
that's fantastic.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Well,
Well,
this
this
is
doesn't seem tomorrow. I don't know why is it our problem. Oh, now it's not our problem. Now
But I feel like
You won't
I'm
hear me
hearing
say
that.
that.
I say it's not a moral.
I feel like I'm hearing that from you because you're like, oh, how, like, what funding are we doing?
Well, everybody hedges their bets.
Let's just be real about this for a second, okay? The city council decides we're gonna move those people to some other place, which is fine.
We're
Okay,
just shoving off our problems on another community?
No, another place in Seaside. I'm sorry, I wasn't there.
Okay.
We'll move it to another place in Seaside, okay? Okay. Let me ask, how big can that get?
Exactly.
How big?
As big as it is now, maybe? And,
Wait,
and
okay, hold on,
just
wait,
permanent,
okay,
solidified,
wait,
just only them alone.
Okay. And again, I'm not advocating one way or the other. I'm just asking.
Right. Yeah, how would it work?
Legitimate, practical question of. Right. Okay, we move those people to someplace in Seaside.
But you don't know what that is, right? Yet? You don't have a place yet, right?
No, I have 3 places they can go.
Okay.
Somebody asked me, here's 3 places they can go. And What happens the next day that somebody else wants to move in? Do we allow them to move in? Do we allow 10 more to move in? Do we allow 100 more to move in?
But wouldn't it be kind of?
I'm sorry, and then I'll answer. Because at some point, it will outstrip the city of Seaside's ability to handle.
But that's not what we're doing with. They're saying that there's the space constrains it, right? So at a certain point, there's only a certain number of spots. Like there's not, you don't have 100 people trying to move into Roberts Lake right now.
Right.
We're not even dealing with that number yet, so why?
That's true.
You're fabricating a situation that's not even an issue right now. We don't have that many people.
Well, it's good to plan. It's always good to plan.
Thank you, Wes. You're right. We didn't have that issue when we started, and now we do. And I'm not saying like moving them is like bad or pejorative thing. I don't mean that. If those people living in Seaside right now, they live in some other place in Seaside. What ethically and morally stops us from allowing the next person to move in? And then the next 10 or the next 100.
Right. Well, and that's all wealth inequality,
That's
isn't
the
it?
serious public policy issue that the city council has to wrestle with.
Are there legalities?
And it still matter how do we treat people.
Can you put like a population cap? If that's your concern, like if there is right now there's about 20 vehicles. When I was at the protest.
That's an excellent question. Normally, the answer is normally cities do that. I'm just looking at the houses here by way of zoning. X number of people can live in Y amount of area. Again, it gets the thing that I worry about is that Seaside becomes the only place where people can do that. Okay. And if no one else follows, it will outstrip our ability to serve. It just will. We're not.
Right. You'll be a magnet.
Yeah. Okay. And as good of a job as Anton has done over there, when he's not there, it gets unsafe in some ways. I mean, I was there this morning, and there was some guy arguing and chasing some other guy. At 8 in the morning, 7 in the morning, whatever. And the porta potties, at some point don't. And somebody, starts, and somebody wants to have a, cookout, and then a fire starts. I mean, at some point, the public safety gets compromised. I mean, that's the challenge.
I understand that you have to consider all of those things, and obviously we're all here because we're all concerned with public safety, and that's the core issue for everyone. We're concerned with the safety of that public, So right now, we're obviously concerned with the safety of the entire public. But what I was going to say was that I understand that there might be some inconveniences about that location because it is a public area, but at the same time it is kind of really convenient because it is farther away from your homeowning constituents. It is a way like it's kind of, in terms of the pandemic conditions and everything, it is actually highly ideal for them to be where they are right now and to not be dispersing them and moving them. So there's a lot of things, obviously, and I know we're not going to discuss it all right now. We're going to be seeing you tomorrow at the meeting. But we're just hoping that, we're impressing upon you to maybe think about it a little differently, although it seems like you do think about these things a lot. But what the point that Seth was making, that we've been coming up against with every single official that we've come up against, is most people will say to us, we're just doing our job. We're just doing our job. We're just doing our job. And at some point, we need to each individual to take responsibility and say, well, I don't want to do my job if I don't think that it's correct, and I need to then organize with my coworkers. The police officers need to organize amongst themselves to go to their superior and say this isn't correct. You need to, you need to go to your superiors and say this isn't correct.
If it's illegal, immoral, unethical, we don't do it.
Right.
So-
So I mean, it's obviously a gray area because we're all pretty united that this is immoral and unethical.
Mr. I'm sorry. what was your name?
Yeah, Wes.
Wes said that Seaside Police Department has the strongest union in the county. Why don't
Oh,
they organize against?
no, the police are definitely a very strong union.
So, you know,
Why don't they organize against
wait,
these
hold
unethical?
on.
You know,
Asking people to
I
park
love it.
in some other location is not illegal, immoral, or unethical.
Well, it is given the conditions
And-
right now.
and-
The world that we
and
live in right
if we
now
were
is very
dragging them
different
out of
than.
their building, out of their RVs and saying, you can't
Okay.
be
Well-
sheltered in your RV, that's illegal. No. That's bad. We
Right.
wouldn't do that, right?
Right. Especially without a warrant.
And in discussions with Anton, I can't stress this enough, he said, yeah, we can move those people. People can move, but there's two of them whose RVs don't work. And I said,
Right.
okay, we, the citizens of Seaside, will pay to them to go
It
someplace.
might be deeper
so that
than
we're
that.
not unsheltering them, right?
One-way ticket.
I was homeless. I get it. I recall it at least. We let them be there. We were not taking anyone out of their shelter. We are only asking them to park someplace that's not in a parking lot.
Okay.
That's what we asked them to
Right,
do.
but okay, so where do you think the natural occurrence of where they would go next is?
I would have went to CSUMB. I would have went to
But
some
you
other
just
place.
heard
Okay,
that
and-
CSUMB is not allowing
Right,
that.
would they be
Angela
welcome
said
where they're
that
going?
The president is not allowing that.
Right, would they be? Do you think they would be welcome where they're going? I mean, because like Seaside has an RV ban, and so does most of the peninsula, and CSUMB is not interested. So like
Go
what?
storm CSUMB's offices. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of spot for that. I love that idea.
No,
I love it.
wait, hold on. Because, and I should have just said this, because the rationale is those parking lots are not being used.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, they're not being
Yeah.
used for the next several months.
Right, and it's
I
the middle
don't
of
know
nowhere.
why those parking
Why
lots
is it our
aren't-
job to go to them and tell them
Right.
that they need to do this?
It's true. You're in more of a position.
These are your citizens.
You're
Go
the
talk to
city
that city.
I'm
Right.
happy to do that. We
We're
were
with
the ones-
direction.
We were the ones who said, and still on the agenda,
You say that as if it validates like what you're doing now. Like we understand you've done
Right.
this.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
we
it'd be
get
great.
it. We're not dismissing any of the actions you guys have done, and you keep repeating what you've done. And we've heard, honestly, I've heard it over and over from you. I keep hearing the same
Ask
thing,
a
and
question, I'll answer
I keep hearing from the police officers the same thing, same answers. And honestly, and it was funny because Officer Enriquez, he said I'm just doing my job or like mention along those lines, right? And then a little bit later he goes and says like it's not just a job, like it's more than that. Like I do what I believe is unethical, and he's saying the same things you guys are. It kind of seems like one, you guys are kind of like say
Got
this,
script.
say this, scripted, and also two, like. He said like if it was unethical, immoral, we're telling you we believe it is unethical and immoral. You're saying
They still have
it's
struggle.
not. You're dismissing the fact that we believe. We're telling you right now we believe as your citizens as well that we don't think this is we think
Right,
this
we're
is
making
unethical and
complaints.
this is immoral of what you're doing. And
I got a host.
I mean, you're saying that if it's out of those, like, if it's any of those things, you would stop. And there's 2 out of those 3 things right there. And you just keep repeating and repeating and repeating. And I went over to the mayor to try and ask him. And I understand he's busy. And he's told me I could talk to him in 10 minutes after he's done with the shoot, which is cool. But I mean, like, he kind of also said the same thing to me, what I've heard from the officers, from you. And it's kind of sounding scripted at this point. And it's just,
And not compassionate.
yeah, not compassionate. It sounds like you guys did a briefing and was like, oh, we had this problem and we're gonna answer them like this. And it kind of, you guys, it just doesn't seem like it's being taken seriously, as you say it is. And I'm not trying, like I said, I'm not dismissing the fact that you guys did as much as you are doing, but I'm saying that one, you have a background in the fact that you experience homelessness yourself. So considering all of those things, I would think that you would, be more passionate and talk to your leaders and talk to your supervisors, your bosses. You guys are telling us, oh, go there. You guys are supposed to go talk to them, go talk to them. But when
Should
we're
I
just,
be instilled in you?
do you even know who I am? No,
you've
but
not
I'm
introduced
sure a lot
yourself.
of people would know who you are.
my name's Craig, by the way. I'll say this. You know, at the last council meeting when this was discussed, we didn't have a complete council. Melissa Kostursky was not with us, and she was the third person to say, I want to have a special meeting on this morning. So you know, the totality of the Seaside electorate
conversation
did not occur the last time, for nobody's fault, nobody's to blame. But it will occur tomorrow at 6:30. So I think you'll see that. And
Wait,
that
so
will be
you guys made a decision with one council member out?
Well, again, a decision. So what happened was, Councilmember Campbell made a motion to extend the timeline for moving people from our plate. And nobody seconded it.
Okay, but then one council member was also
was gone.
Was gone. So that was passed without another person's, like, who knows if maybe they might have seconded that as well.
That's his point.
And then the fact that, okay, you say that there's going to be a meeting tomorrow at 6:30. Yes. Was that supposed to happen before Monday?
No, it just happened.
No, it's
20 minutes ago when he said it.
because we were here. See, if we weren't here, they would have been told. You see, like you're saying, like we're.
Yeah, I get what happened. I'm the one who had to, and I'm just saying, just for purposes of explanation.
Well, yeah, so
that I get what happened, and I'm the one who just stopped people from.
Well, and I'm asking you to also be a voice with us and talk and speak out against what you believe might not be right, and even if it is your boss, because that's the thing, you know. Like, I know it's scary and I know it's intimidating.
No, it's not scary at all.
Okay, then do it. Like,
I tell the truth as I know it, and express my values. I actually work for my values more than I work for any other entity.
Yeah. And I really respect the fact that you did take all this time to talk to us and answer all the questions that we had. That's
I'm happy to do so. Anything else that I can help with?
Send me an email or something, or maybe I gotta ask for a Zoom link or whatever.
Well, it'll be on the website.
For participating?
To clarify,
I've only been able to find
going to be,
viewing, but not participating.
They won't be told until we have that meeting, correct? Tomorrow at 6:30. So tomorrow morning, they're safe as well. They're not going to be.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you for
Thank
that.
you so much for, being able to push it for that.
Anything else? I don't want to leave. I don't want to run away. I'm not a runaway kind of guy.
Right on. Yeah, right. Velaz didn't have much time for us this morning.
Yeah.
Velaz, Deputy Chief.
Okay, well, she's got work to do.
Well, she wasn't very happy either.
No, she wasn't.
That compassion didn't shine through.
Very eager to get the people out of the area without any thought
Well,
of
yeah.
how it's going to affect them.
Still, though, I mean, there is a attitude that could be cultured inside.
I appreciate the feedback.
And also,
anything else?
Officer Rice was really. I just like to say, like, I don't know if he should be in a position to be an officer at all, because the fact that I understand, we're all kind of like talking, and it gets a little like intense, right? But the fact that you were able to calmly respond to us and like hey, hold on, like I gotta hear one voice at a time. It took him maybe like 1 or 2 interruptions from someone else for him to be so aggravated that he didn't want to even speak to anyone, and he just went into his car. And I personally, I was not rude to him at first. When I started speaking to him, he cut me off multiple times, telling me like, "Oh, I'm letting you speak," or "You're not," or just being very rude and cutting me off multiple times. I'm trying to talk, and then he's like, "You're being rude. You're yelling at me right now," or "You're saying all these things." I'm like, "I'm yelling because you were cutting me off and speaking over me every single time," and that's when he just hit into his car. And honestly, for an officer with a gun, for him to get so aggravated so easily by just like a few interruptions, that scares me personally.
Can I ask a question? And you don't have to answer?
Huh?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah,
you
of
don't
course.
have to answer. And I'm only asking just so I can reference in the future. can you either share your first or last name? So if somebody says, did I have a conversation with whoever you are, I can say yes or no. But you don't have to answer in case you worry.
My name's Yeji.
What?
Yeji.
Yeji. Okay. Excellent. Thank you. Again, I'm Craig. Nice to meet you, Yeji.
Nice to meet you.
Wait, were you the one skateboarding with the... That was awesome.
Thank you.
Right on.
I used to skateboard more until I got torn off a motorcycle.
Anton, you got anything else?
Anything?
Gabby?
Okay, we'll see you tomorrow at 6:30.
Okay.
Thank you all.
I'm
gonna go back Seaside.
Thanks. Appreciate you, Craig.
Thank you, Craig.
I think Mayor said he's free in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, that's never happened. I guess you guys are actually going to have emergency meeting on behalf of the homeless here in Seaside. We've had a few questions and a few concerns that we wanted to bring to you directly. And we wanted to see where your position on Robert's Lake is actually at right now.
I'm not understanding.
We want to know where your position was with the homeless and basically what you plan on doing or what your ideas about doing for the people at Robert's Lake.
Well, we had to figure out what we can do. People at Roberts Lake, we're going to try to clean that spot out because that's a park that all the communities should share with. And so we have not figured out where there's a space to move to. That's what I guess the special meeting is called for.
Do you know that that the governor has reinstated a lot of the restrictions that actually called for the shelter in place? The reason why me and you and Craig actually came together and let these people actually stay there in the first place was regarding the shelter. So the shelter and all the restrictions are being put back in place. So you do know that you're putting them in danger by moving them.
Well, I don't agree with putting them in danger. So I do know the restrictions are back in place, yes.
Okay. So you don't agree that you don't think that's putting them in danger, moving them or scattering them to the wind as a plan? I mean, that was the case. Why did you let the shelter in place to begin with?
Well, the governor just recently instituted that, I guess, yesterday.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, we voted to ask to ensure that Roberts Lake was cleaned out about a week ago.
Exactly.
So we haven't had an opportunity to adjust any of our thinking, any of our concerns. So I don't agree with the determination that we don't care about the people living there.
I'm not saying. I'm not implying that at all.
That's the way it seems. So my point is
Yes,
that reinstitution of shelter in place was made yesterday.
Okay. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, I don't mean to be hypocritical on the fact though, but I know I mean to be contradictory. But for you to say that we don't, to say that we don't care, when you say that, well, why are they our problem, just our problem, it kind of states that you kind of don't, almost in a sense. I mean, can you see where I'm coming with this?
No, I care, but I think it's a community problem, not just Seaside's problem. It's a regional problem.
But so the region should take on Seaside's problem?
Yes.
So it is Seaside. These are your constituents at this point. These are your residents. They've been here for 3+ months. So, I mean, to be honest with you, it is our city's problem at this point. Okay? Wouldn't you agree with that?
Craig said immediately.
I would say again, homelessness is a community-wide problem, a county problem, a regional problem. So when people move here and come here, they have a right to do that. And we should be compassionate about the needs that they have. And that's where it is. But to say that there have to be at Roberts Lake, people have to live at Roberts Lake, I know they have to be somewhere. But that's the question. So just, I'm not going to allow anyone to say I don't have a heart, I don't care.
I'm not saying that.
What?
I'm just answering the question.
Does Seaside still have an RV ban?
We don't care. I'm just going to say I do care.
Okay.
So that's it.
Because I am going to divulge this. When I get told that that we care about the general appeal of our city and that Roberts Lake is bringing down the general appeal of our city, which was told to me, okay, and that we're having a negative impact on our city's revenue because of the encampment, that's basically saying what to the people that are there?
Money's more important.
Well, I don't know what that person was saying. So, I mean, I can't answer about their mindset.
So you can't talk on behalf of your city manager?
Oh, now you're telling us the city manager?
It was a city.
Well, Anton, I'm not going to go back and forth. I'm not going to argue about it.
I know. I'm just asking. What is your position on it?
You make a good point, but I don't consider the individuals as a negative, right? But an encampment does bring
can't.
Issues with it.
Can't. Right.
Yeah, they can't bring issues with it.
Because I want to know how long does a person actually have to be here for you to actually consider them a resident of Seaside at this point?
I don't know.
And I mean, I know what
How about for a
money or
registered
funds
voter?
are you guys actually planning to allocate towards the homeless? Because I looked at your guys' books of last year. Almost zero funds were allocated to the homeless in the city of Seaside.
I don't believe that. I think
But you might have re-looked at your books. I'm serious. That's what I looked at. And the $2,168,658 that were actually allocated to the shelter, $33,000 only came from Seaside. The rest of the money actually got allocated from the Coalition of Homeless Services.
And one thing about that,
So when you guys say that, oh, we built that shelter, it's kind of on a false pretense.
But also one thing about a shelter is that those funds go to the contractors who build it, but that doesn't actually extend to the people who benefit, right? So even when you do say, oh, we spent money on a shelter, it doesn't actually give more resources to themselves necessarily. So this is really one quick thing about Roberts Lake. I understand that it is a desirable location for a park, a public park. But one thing that's really great about it right now in the situation we're in, given the fact that shelter in place has been extended, is that it is actually, in terms of the pandemic conditions, an ideal location for this community at this moment. Because if we disperse them without having a place for them to go, which actually was the intent yesterday, they didn't do it because we were there. They actually intended to do it again today without having a place for them to go. They showed up with tow trucks and they didn't do it because we were there. So the city was going to do that. Objections were raised and now a new meeting has been called. So in regard to that, like the fact that once we displace these people, we don't know where they're gonna go, right? Because they don't have that many options. And the great thing about that location, sorry, what I was trying to say, is that it is actually removed from your homeowning constituents, right? So you're gonna have possibly a lot more problems come up if we do displace these people without a good place to go. Suddenly your homeowning constituents might be concerned because you might start seeing some RVs running through different neighborhoods, looking for different places to go, looking for places to park. Right now, that's a contained place. It has a limit because there's not an infinite amount of space for like more and more RVs to come, right? It's basically at max capacity. It's contained. They're situated. They're doing good work to keep it clean because they do have families. They don't want to get sick. I know there's some concerns about maybe some sanitation, but that can continue. I mean, the place can be serviced and kept clean by the city without causing the eviction of these residents right now. So there's things to go into the meeting with. Definitely think that it's a good place right now. We understand. Everybody understands right now. They don't intend to live there for the rest of their lives. It's a fluid situation. But until the city can come with an actual resource for these people and a place to stay, there's no justification for showing up there with police officers and tow trucks as they did today.
When you need resources, what do you need?
I mean, a little bit more. Yesterday we mentioned to them they should come back with resources. They came back with a printed out piece of paper that listed national parks, most of which are closed due to the pandemic.
Not even the counties.
What resources are you suggesting we use?
We're talking
Permission.
Huh?
No, go ahead.
Permission?
Yeah, permission is the biggest resource you can give us.
Permission to stay there is a huge resource. But a resource is an actual, tangible plan for that person to follow from the moment they leave that parking place that they have to a safe place for them to sleep and stay.
Roxanne Wilson did voice that she would like to help the city in this endeavor. And she also told me that she would like to actually help the city again with the grants that you guys are asking for to be funded. And there's a couple of problems that you guys are not doing that she would like to help you guys out with.
Roxanne Wilson is the executive director of the Coalition of Homeless Service Providers. She controls that organization. That's where the money is at the county level. Any resources you think you need or should have, she controls them with that group. And so to bypass her and that group, which Seaside is a member of, like other communities, that's what money, well, no, but you're asking us, the city, if that money is when we're going to get the grants, that money is for homelessness and to provide the resources. So when she was talking to me, she has the money. That money was divvied out to other nonprofits to serve homeless people on behalf of the city. Right? So it's hard for me to say these individuals are getting, these homeless service providers, nonprofit organizations are getting the money, and then the city is supposed to redouble effort, spend our tax dollars for stuff that our tax dollars are already going to. That's already our money going to the Salvation Army, going to all the other places.
How much of the budget does that? Is that?
No, that's your tax dollars. It don't even come to the budget. It goes straight to the Continuum of Care and the Coalition of Home Service Providers.
The only thing that
and Wes is always at those meetings. So we need to just to be clear. The Seaside's money stops at that institution. The Coalition for the Homeless Service Providers. They're all supposed to come together and use those monies from the state and the federal government for things that you're talking about. We don't get none of them. They send it right to the nonprofits. And so I'm going to look into it, but I'm sure we spend more than the city's budget, than what was mentioned. But that money that was spent is on our behalf, like it is on other cities' behalf. And just to finish the thought about the shelter, we didn't really have nothing to do with the shelter. The county said they wanted that shelter to be there.
But you guys claim responsibility for it on the budget meeting. You guys, the city of Seaside put that shelter. You say those words. You guys do claim responsibility for it.
No. Someone else is claiming responsibility. I was clear about what I said. The county owned that building and they turned it into a shelter. So maybe if we'd have said no, they wouldn't have put it there. Okay, so we said yes. But
we got the permission.
Well, yeah, we didn't turn them down because we were trying to help the community.
So if you were, I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, because I keep hearing, you know, the buck being passed. Well, it's not our problem. Talk to this person. It's not our problem. Talk to this person. I mean, as a leader of our community, don't you think that you need to take responsibility, right? Take the initiative and actually take the forefront and actually handle the situation?
Which I'm doing
in a moral, ethical way.
Which I'm doing right now. You guys are advocating. You're advocating to me, and I'm telling you where the money is at. I'm advocating at those same spots to have money come directly to the city so we can push it out. It doesn't make it. It stops at these nonprofits. And so at a certain point, you can advocate to city council, but the money you're talking about that homeless people need are going to these homeless service providers, these nonprofits. And the question of concern should be why not you personally, but why they're not availing themselves and why people in this community, Seaside community, is not getting some of their money. Because I'm asking the same thing.
The Coalition of Homeless People are the ones that provided a lot of the facilities down there.
Yeah,
right?
yes, they provided 2 hand washing stations, 2 porta potties. They also took the initiative to dump and fill the RVs that are actually on site.
So they are taking care of
They've helped us out with food.
more than the city.
Well, it's not more than the city because when you guys got over there, you guys got over there, Roxanne called me and we asked for more hand washing stations and porta potties than any other community. We were one of the only communities that asked for it. She had extra. Well, but I'm saying, don't.
But they still had to pay for it.
We're not doing nothing. I push back. And I agree with you guys about what you're advocating for, so I'm not trying to butt heads with you. But I'm not going to allow someone to say that I'm not doing nothing. You can say I'm not doing enough.
Okay, and that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
We're not trying to say that you haven't done anything. I don't think
so that's all I'm trying to get to. We're going off in a whole bunch of different directions, but I'm supportive. But at a certain point, it does the city no good, and it does homeless advocates no good not to find out where that money is going, because that money is supposed to be used for you. And if it's not getting down to you, then we need to go and track the money.
Definitely.
But the city's not getting money. But the city is spending money, and I'm going to go find out exactly.
Yeah. And one question, an interesting thing that the city manager did admit to me already when we interviewed him about this is that he admitted that it actually is going to cost the city more money to clean out Roberts Lake Camp than it is to allow it to remain as it is right now.
Well, it has to be cleaned out.
Yeah.
Where's the evidence of violation?
Yeah, what exactly needs to be cleaned? Because I mean, have you been down to the lake actually yourself?
Well, it's a park. It's not a camp, so it does need to be cleaned up for safety reasons every so often. And if that's costing taxpayer dollars, then that's what it costs us to do. And so you can't. I don't buy into it because it costs money to clean it up. You just let it sit the way it is. I'm not saying that.
But where is the health and safety violation at, and how come people there can't be, you know, the facilitators of cleaning that?
If you're asking me, should we send the health department over there, then that's something you can do or someone else can do. But it has to be cleaned up.
So there's a claim, but no real evidence behind it, though, other than they're there.
It's not for me to prove otherwise.
But also, I don't see why it can't be cleaned while people are there.
I don't know how. It's not for me to say how it's supposed to be cleaned.
Right. But you're the one who's making that claim right now to me.
No, you guys said the city manager made it, that it needs to be cleaned up.
No, we were just having a discussion about the cost of maintaining it as it is right now.
11:45.
Sorry?
We have another meeting at 11:45.
Yeah, the meeting is whenever they schedule it.
6:30 tomorrow night.
You guys you guys can advocate then again. There was some good points made. Keep on making them.
Thank you.
I'm just trying to do the right thing.
All right.
What's your name?
My name is Gabriella.
Okay. All right. Like I said, good points made. Keep on making them.